But it's all open by that exceptional Sheriff shot as well from Demon One.
One enemy remaining.
Again, best statistical player of the tournament so far, Demon One, and showing no signs of slowing down, even against an Asus who played phenomenally against Fnatic.
Let's go, Boosty!
Asus was plus 20 against Fnatic. And Demon One's doing stuff like that to him.
Both monsters in their own right. But today, Demon One, at least for now, seems to be just in tip-top form. Grouped up now, Loud. A collection of players here with the Sheriffs. Towards B, Turret spots them. Ooh, as soon as the orb is taken, that shot dart doing a lot of damage.
And the second one too.
Tons of damage.
And look, Com might have just won this round already. It's just softened up all of the players that would be a threat, that are trying to take aggressive positions.
Out on their eco. And the game plan they have in mind, honestly, is to try and farm up these orbs as well. Looks like they're funneling them into Sadhak. They still have A main control. I mean, 2 years disrespected that earlier into the round. He's just been holding on to it since.
Working their way down mid. Boosty has got his line.
Detonates vulnerability across the targets, across the board. Com tucked to the corner here. Still, with the amount of damage that's been done prior, you have to think it should be an easy solve for EG. These players might be getting squeezed though soon enough.
Yeah.
Especially with Boostio's positioning, he's really isolated. He can't afford to reposition
30
particularly.
seconds left.
If this gets cleared, might be a dangerous moment. Backs towards it. So many chances. Kawazine, the tag as well with the dart. A lot of damage done towards the back of the site. Needs to be a bit of a bailout now. Some help and assistance. Corn, lovely flash. Got to appreciate that one, Ethan. The supplementary utility from this guy is just in another class of its own.
And the best supported player in the world shows you why he deserves that title once again. And excellent stuff from the bottom of the scoreboard. From downtown, throwing the flashes. That was a pretty aggressive position for Boostio, and it looked dangerous there for a moment too. You know, Com got lit up by a dart. He could have easily been taken down, and suddenly there's no one actually for Ethan to throw that supportive utility even for. It's also taken a lot of the sting out of this bonus. But with Demon One and a Sheriff in hand, we've already seen what he's capable of. Both of these squads have very different ideas about how to approach their attack side. Loud love to be going for these 4-1 approaches where Les is the only player towards the B side of the map. And Loud will hard focus on winning A main control at all costs.
Very important one now for Loud to win. Think about it. The investment of the guns, the rifles that they've got in their hands, EG. Pure bonus round for them. Looks like they're setting up as well just the stack over towards A, giving up a lot of space inherently, not holding it close towards tree.
The drone through mid continues to allow that alarm bot and turret actually to gather info towards mid and towards B, and that's led 4 players to stack on the defense side on A.
Yeah, they're not worried.
They're not at all, and this is definitely danger for Loud. I mean, every piece of utility they're throwing indicates that this is going to be an A split straight into these 4 defending players.
Drone through players off the back of it. Ethan was a flash ready and waiting. Bit of time to strike now. Players starting to really move through here. The dart wasn't cleared though. Jogamo lit up. Counter utility still being used all the way through. Push forwards. There was that flash. Ethan is in their faces all the way through. Team of 1. Nasty with it. Can't reset it enough with the Sheriff shot though. Can't claim the second still. Give it to Com. Plan has to go down now. 11 seconds remaining. Won't be anything to push this one back here. Still. Maybe Com just thinking, okay, get the rifle. Cheeky little prize. Does he still want to make a go of this?
And by the look of it, EG still have enough money to buy into the next, so any economical damage that you can inflict upon Loud makes this a better and better bonus. And this is likely to be the area where they exit for the save.
Yeah. Just playing it smart. We did just see a clutch the other day from Com where he made the big wrap around on ascent.
Com is never not flanking.
Yeah.
in the wise words of Mimi.
But it's about his, how agile he plays it. He messes with your internal clock, the timings in your brain.
Oh, look at how good this is from Loud, though. They smoke behind them over towards A main. They've got a 0 point out forwards to make sure that he's not hiding somewhere aggressively for them. And they get a clean exit where Com can't inflict any more damage. This is going to take us into our first rifle round. Aspas and Kawanzin, I would imagine, looking to buy up around the guns that were saved there. It's this recon dart, honestly, that ends up taking all of the danger out of things. Ethan was ready to flash these players in, and yet they got caught. That's a good utility appreciator.
You gotta respect it.
Me when I see people not dry peeking everywhere around the map.
Exactly. Cautious tale for both of these teams. Love to play it slow.
Sadak, though, benefiting from the fact that he was loaded with ult orbs early on in this half, now has his null command online really quite early. This is a big round. And he's instantly taken A main control. Loud have these explosive fights sometimes around the extremities. This could be a re-clear, though, from EG. Yeah, the flash in.
Yep. Flash in. Chocomo. No connection, no kills.
What I like about this, too, is it makes it much less likely from Loud's position that they recognize Demon One is also here with the operator. Why would you be going for a flash re-clear of A main if the op is right behind it? Yeah, that is where Demon One's posted. And I love the position that Demon One has taken right now, anticipating them backing up and going into an A split, which Sadak loves to call. But this time, the IGL
moving away
from Loud moving into B.
It's EG, though, playing fully aware of the no command. Wait, look at this. Boostio's positioning. Deep tuck back. He's not going to be cleared out. He's not going to be suppressed. So all that util is going to be left to help Com. Dart's dealt with as well. Given the perfect timing as well as they start to come through. And there's the Nana Swarms. He can dead them again because there's no suppression. Paranoia into the back. We see the same supportive utility to help him out. There were flashes sent flying, but Com wasn't aware of it. The stairs position taken. Again, barely just getting in there with enough time to really do it. Still EG. Are they going to attempt to flood in? No, it's just a stray shot of Demon One.
Don't know how that one hits.
Ridiculous.
It's a nice spot for Aspas to play high-lows with the rest of the team, but there's nobody from Loud in B main.
Yep.
They're all grouped up on site.
And that is critical. All collected here for EG to really make the most of this one. Into the retake, this high ground position, all he needs.
Paranoia.
Is a pixel, an angle, Paranoia, massive connection. Multiple players now fully blinded up. Close to the corner, they're all being dealt with at the back of the site. Kawazin, 1v2, 1v1, tonight!
Ethan, the safe pair of hands, takes things home for EG with an excellent, diligent retake. Loud have such phenomenal post-plant positions there on site. Yes, they don't have anybody tucked towards logs or market or B main, but in terms of the spots you could play on site, I really like what they were going for. And most of that setup got ruined by Chocomo's flash. It just sails through. Player close gets caught by it. Aspas gets caught by it on his higher setup. Breaks those crossfires and allows EG to get in.
Nice! Let's go! That's huge.
That's the tension in a 1v1 for the coach.
Standing ahead.
Flash and a recon. And towards back. Ethan is disrespecting all of this. There's no connection there with the darts, so he just removes the turret out nice and early. Sets up Demon One again with the operator. Meanwhile, Loud, they're exploring into middle.
Demon One is so deep. He looks like he might be about to make contact.
One less. Spotted him first. Damage done, no kill.
Boostio's utility looks ready to try and hold that space for him to use lockdown. But now he's had to burn it early and he gets caught. A random sheriff shot takes down the killjoy and removes that lockdown, which EG would have been hoping to use for a retake. They still have an ult command to work with. Ethan could be vital here. But Demon One will probably have to trade off the op with somebody else. It looks tough.
Yeah, let's see how this gets played now. Go either way, any direction. Maybe just down to the positioning here of these players spamming. Wallbang angles. Nobody found here. Demon One has found the rifle now. Time will really begin to start ticking.
Especially when
broken.
Currency has this Hunter's Fury at all times.
Yeah, and he is just really just buying all the more time for them. TP tonight, Jugamo can't get it done here with the rifles, and as well, the angles are all known and noted. Ethan, so much more to do, but he just cannot do it. Lit up right through the floor.
And all of that coming down, I think, to the fact that Busio fell. A Sheriff shot through a smoke, spammed back towards him, and he doesn't have his ultimate that they really needed for the retake. Look what that's done to EG's economy too. How does this shot happen? Oh, wow.
Talk about
Perfect
fortunate.
one.
Yeah.
I've definitely noticed with EG, and Bustio's talked about it in press conferences too, that when he has bad games individually, his calling also suffers. Now, he hasn't had a bad game in this match so far, but we saw him in the game against PaperX calling himself a disappointment and a fraud for going -24 in the series. You need to make sure that he's having good moments, not getting caught out, to keep the calling high.
The mental in check. Okay, EG. Very disrespectful. Only with the classics, of course, just trying to brute force their way, taking out a main control. Here's the response, though. Loud spotting it out. Close to the corner, though, is Calm. There's going to be a flash to clear it. Lovely bit of util now. Lots of players waiting to receive. EG over the top now with a Blade Storm. Not really spotted here. It's a jump and spot. It's the bait play. Oh my God, disgusting.
It's a great idea. Love to see it. How many knives did Demon 1 just expend there? Oh,
Well,
it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Dash still alive. Round to the corner. 2 years shuts it down. No danger, no chance of a real trade. And Jogamo, there was danger there. He had the rifle. Paranoia flying through. Bustio only on 20 health. Not much he can do in this. At this point, just playing for the exits, but really the money. It is booming for Loud.
Sadak, though, was forced to use his ultimate in the midst of this round, and I think you can count that as a win. You can count that as some small victory, some silver lining for Evil Geniuses. They're still 2 rounds up, and now have fairly good ultimates. Specifically good retake ultimates, too. Against what Loud are going to be throwing at you. Bustio is going back to this Killjoy setup that's focused very heavily on putting double nano swarms and alarm bot, defending that tree space so that he can use lockdown in the retake over towards A. It doesn't work as well when teams like to run A splits on you, though, and that's what Sadak loves calling those.
Drone and a knife. Team 1, all out to play towards mid here.
Here's early catwalk pressure already, only 15 seconds into the round. Bustio would like to hold on to this setup.
Triggering the turret just to see if there was a util trap play off of it. Alarm bot on top of it, so that's all the Killjoy utility removed.
Very early on, within the first 30 seconds. And that's going to be very helpful for Sadak, as well as he builds an identity and a map in his head of what the defensive setup is like.
Just from breaking it, look at the EG players' positions now. All collected over towards A, anticipating that that's where the hit might come through. And the reason for that as well is just Demon 1 this entire time has been holding down this B angle, but it's not to be received with a flash in his face. Will the peak timing be good enough? He's not going to be able to get out of there in time, as well as Paranoia comes out of nowhere near-sided, dashing even deeper into B main, using the smokes, trying to use them to his advantage! And here's the help, surely.
30 seconds left.
Even to the side, starting to make their way now into the side there. Nade at their feet, just trying to avoid it, dodge past it. To the back of it, though, they are walking into a blender. The kills need to be claimed right now for Loud all the way through here. And while it's less, is the one who's got them all in the blender, but still it's Jorgamo at the back of the site, anchoring at that position.
10 seconds left.
None the wiser, with no time left. Not a chance in hell. Jorgamo will not let this one slip. Beautifully played.
Another roll from Jorgamo into the back B site. He did it on attack, now he's doing it on defense. When you look at the way that EG's defense is set up in this round, it feels from the minimap like it's only Demon 1 towards B, but there is always that constant ability for Jorgamo to get into back site and reinforce this whole position. And as soon as there's somebody anchoring in that spot, It makes the supportive utility from Com and Ethan so much stronger too. Very nice setup from EG. You can tell that both of these teams are expertly prepped.
Yeah. The time I've taken here for Loud. Got to give again immense credit. Demon 1 in top form. Think about that prior round. Doesn't get the pick in B main. Yeah, he got traded out, but just enough delay, enough time being bought. EG could really cement up and bring the reinforcements in.
I want to think about the mentality of both of these teams coming into this match as well, Brent. I feel like every squad heading into Champions was wondering how Fnatic could lose twice. Anxious that it would come down to them to have to slay the beast. And EG themselves proved unequal to that task of taking down Fnatic at Tokyo. And Loud come into this match as the Dragon Slayers, returning to face EG. Battle worn, but also with a trophy that should strike fear into the hearts of every squad that goes up against them.
Oh, yeah.
We are the team that took down the favorites, and yet EG, right from the start, have shown the confidence to bring it to Loud and never play scared at any point.
Form has been such a factor. A lot of matches that we've been seeing. Oh my goodness! There's a punish. Kalazine attempting the drone down into mid, just from the tower's position, but it was a flash dart, and it sets it up with the Odin spam.
These ideas are so good from EG. Stolen, refined, perfect. Demon 1 in an off angle, but dealt with by Sadak.
It was an unorthodox one. Flash plays all about. Leslie couldn't see anything. Hunter's Fury, this is Com. Wants to salvage the situation, at least help them out, but slightly off kilter. Okay, 2 players left standing. Boosty actually going to be committing the ult now. Trying to clear out this smoke. Fades away towards the side. Is he going to expect Aspas? Door needs to be broken. Reload inside. Everybody's got the knives out of util. It's a absolute disaster.
Boostio looking to put pressure on and had his own lockdown broken in the meantime. He's left on a 1v3. And despite the incredible start from EG, it went downhill so fast. He's got the right read.
Yeah, 2 years ice cold, doesn't shift his position. Does he really make a play for this? That's a heavy face, and look at Loud, they are immediately on it. They can smell blood in the water. Chasing him down. They make the decision easy for Boostio. Run away, keep the gun.
The ideas from EG in this round are excellent. I mean, right from the opening pick, but even then, when there was more tree pressure coming through, we had a Paranoia comboed with the Hunter's Fury to be able to clean up the aggression coming through from Loud in multiple waves. And yet Loud was still able to hold their ground and frag through it. A great example of Loud being able to shrug off the pressure from EG.
Crowd feeling favored. The plucky upstart to this EG. North American representatives here. But Loud are steadily climbing their way back. Trying to equalize in this map. The round lead that EG have is starting to get whittled down and away.
Last time EG were on an eco, they stacked 4 players over towards A. And they just had Com and Boostio's utility watching the rest of the map. It looks like a very similar setup here again.
Smoking a Paranoia. Believe being held here. Demon 1's the only one with the rifle. Don't expect that one. He's been playing a lot of these off angles. Does he really go for more? I mean, the dash is activated. Might feel like he has to get something done with it, but no, just using it to reposition here. Loud. Bit of a noise bait. Running away. Vacuuming up the space once more into A main. Drone close to the corner. That's a seek. An attempt to punish. I gotta respect it from Boostio. It's being watched for. The Loud still want to go for this. Yes, they do. Flash over the top here with the Paranoia. Hunter's Fury as well, clearing all the way through here, but there's really no emphasis being placed on this. They have to take the site on top of it, but bullets will do the job, I guess. Clearing out into the corner. Still, Demon 1 is active, and he's still got the rifle with 9 bullets left, though. No more dash to really evade, capture, and he's brought down.
Com scrambling, frenzy in hand, trying to pick up the pieces. But Loud have done this work on the anti-eco, and they are set up in an unlosable position. The triple face. Com not given an inch, given no quarter. Loud draw ever closer to tying this one up. The attack sides from both of these teams have been called beautifully.
Yeah.
I think EG's defense has had more layers to it than Loud's, and yet Loud is still managing to avoid all of these problems that are thrown at them.
I completely agree. These halves have mirrored each other, honestly, as well, with just the pistol round wins going in one direction, but the gun rounds, when it gets down to it, the attack side, these teams just have a better read.
And you want to talk about mirrors, the IGL picking up the judge. We saw Sadak in the first half, and now Boostio has gone for the same kind of play over towards Tree. This does seem like the kind of area where Boostio is likely to get action.
Flash is going to connect, though. Is it coming? Dodges it. Jump spot! That is nasty! And even nastier from Sadak, actually, under the pressure of that one. Making the trade happen.
Who does the trade favor, though, at the end of the day? Sure, you get rid of the attack side jet, but also all of that killjoy utility is down on A.
And they push Sadak into this deep position, tucked towards Tree.
I think it's a very nice spot for Sadak to call from. Les, however, is way off script.
This knife. Is there going to be a flash re-clear here? Wants to play. EG going to try and cook something up.
Yep, here goes Ethan.
Yeah. Oh, on the other side of the map. Okay, Sadak going for a flash of his own. What timing gets taken still? Back towards the smoke. Watching. A bit messy.
So now where do you go? Do you go towards Les on B? Do you try to commit to A? There's 30 seconds.
I don't really have the answer, but definitely getting the kills. Well, that space was gained. Les making a run towards mid here just to try and hold this one back. Demon 1, he's seeking to also adapt and try and play fluidly. He's brought down. 15 seconds. Where's the spike? It's dropped down right there. Nade close to the corner. Ethan! He's getting away with murder. 10 seconds to 1v1 and the doors in his face. Obstacles abound. Kawazine, you gotta break it. And Ethan, he's won it out.
He goes for the top.
Unreal. Unreal.
That is a round that should never have slipped away from Loud. They had too many options, paralyzed by choice. Sadak was clearly calling for some kind of A split, but wanted to leave Les over on B to see if he could work the magic. And they decided, because time was so low, to rotate through mid. The only area where Demon 1 and Ethan could have had any impact on the rotate. But they didn't feel confident enough going full through spawn. I mean, thankfully, Sadak doesn't seem too bothered by it. All smiles on his face. But they've allowed EG to get up to map point when it seemed like Loud were pulling off the comeback. A match like this, the best of 5, it's going to be a marathon, but small moments certainly add up. Here comes Sadak, popping his ultimate, looking to try and right the wrongs heading into round 23.
Can make all the difference here. Let it fly now, let it loose the util sailing forwards, but the guns, it's all about how they reign supreme. Aspas wants to lead the charge here, trying to resurrect it. Aspas, he's essentially on an island. He doesn't have help from his team, yet he's still holding them back. Knives out, in charge now, Demon 1. Seek to even it up ever so slightly. EG might be on the cusp of winning the map, but Louder just back into this with a vengeance here. Flicked up onto the box, Aspas, he's low, he's trying to take the fight right to them. Brings him down though, Dart is there, and there is the wallback damage, all being done. Com still with control over towards door. It's a 2v3 though. You have to try and get these Loud players out of the positions they are tucked into this post plant. So hard to remove. Smoke. So awkward, so difficult. Demon 1 would have to have hit a worldie, but no. It's all less containing.
And Loud certainly responded. After letting one round slip away, they came in with fire. The entries looking vicious from Aspas.
Yeah, I mean, and he's alone now when he's taking these fights.
But he's so confident in his own skill, his own talent to be able to pull him through. And Les also with 3 following up on that space that Aspas had created for him. Les has 25 kills right now across 23 rounds. Stellar performance, outfragging Demon 1 on the other side of things, who I keep reiterating has been statistically the best player of the tournament so far. If Les is on fire like this, it's going to make a big difference compared to their flop at Tokyo. Les was one of the major reasons his monstrous performances carrying them through in the 2-1 victories they had over EG in Americas.
The time I've taken, EG, this final round can be the hardest. Bring you over that line. Time to talk you through. What are you going to do this last round of regulation?
Loud have been focused very heavily on A main control. If EG want to get value out of a scrappier buy, I love the idea of going for something aggressive in A main. It doesn't always have to be fighting it at the very start of the round. You could lure Loud in and give them A main control and then try and fight with a reclear strategy. But it seems like EG have a similar idea to me.
Yeah, and the money isn't too hot for EG here. For this last round, they bought up entirely. Just trying to disrespect them. It's a flash play along with the dart as well. They're all lit up, but they don't really have the guns to get this done. Maybe with rifles, could have spanned a couple of these players, but it's just contained. Storm was weathered by Loud. They waited out and they regained control of A main themselves. This time with ultimates. Packing a decent punch here, locked down.
Ethan still has a flash for this. They could try and go aggressive again. No, the drone is going to dissuade Demon 1. He's forced to pull back.
There are gaps here towards the lockdown. Into the back of the site as entertainment though. Jorgamo, he's up close. To leave inside of his own smoke here. Working rings around him, but Ethan, he will fall from the back. It's all onto Demon 1, but he just cannot hit the shots. Sheriff in his hands, needs to make the most of it. But Loud, complete dominance, completely in control. Inevitability, we will be going to OT here. Bustio, gonna try for it, doing so much, but really just shut down. So, 12-12, our opening map here of our lower bracket finals. With everything on the line, going to overtime.
It's going to be bad memories for EG here. They were up 11-6 to Paper X and lost a few clutches to let them back into the game. It feels like another one that they might be letting slip away. (11-8) the scoreline at one point, with EG in the lead. Just managed to make it 12-12, stopping the inevitable Loud onslaught on the attack side. Both of these teams with impeccable calling. But now the sides flip. EG once again on the side where they've looked the best. Loud's setup is quite different. And the Nanoswarm is so far back, ready to catch. I mean, by the look of it, Demon 1 as he would dash towards stairs. The way that Les has put his utility, it seems like they want to double anchor really deep on B.
He's given a hop for Com, gets himself into that position here. Fight. Ooh, it's the bullets exchange. Kawazin. He's hoping to follow up on it. No one falls though.
Alarm bot broken. Les, as after he takes a little bit of a prod towards B main, is now in a very, very passive position over towards B. They don't have a turret, they don't have alarm bot, they have no information. And that's going to make every other part of the map a lot weaker.
Nice paranoia, but sidestepping the void. Aspas! Too much room to overcome. Those two players just sitting there, 2 years now. He's tucked into hell. Could he beat a backstab? Could he beat a knife that really hurts them? But no. With him shut down and removed, it is pure desperation. You can see it on Loud's face, the way they're playing this one. Not together, not ever so slightly. EG once more. They find themselves here on the cusp of taking our first map.
These attacking rounds continue to be excellent for EG, but they need to be able to put something up on the other side as well. Great isolation onto Aspas. And they just get their players in great positions, completely holding and dominating these.
Look at him!
The sight lines over towards hell and heaven. Yeah. But Loud now with an opportunity to respond, and their attack sides have also been great. They put a heavy emphasis towards A main control, but this time the Brazilians grouping up in tiles. Oh! Wow, what counter spam onto Com.
I was wondering when we might see it. The punish inside both of these teams, opting into the Odin plays. Just like that though, with less falling, it's suddenly a 4v4.
I mean, that one, Such a shot from
Yeah,
Ethan.
I mean, where the hell was that?
How has he found that?
Cat all the way down to tiles.
Just the tiniest of angles.
Flashpoint, taking space. But now contacting. No more util being used off of this one. Dart doesn't spot it. Ethan is in real danger.
That's amazing. They know that Ethan's been holding flashes from that position.
Massively so. Jorgamoto close to dice here. It's really going to start to be swarmed and overwhelmed. How does he get two? Demon 1, heavy position, ADS. This could be it. It's a 1v2, Saturday IGL. He's got to pull off a masterclass round. The tap of the spike doesn't force any EG players out to the open. A second stick of it over the top, updraft. Demon 1 cannot spot him. Knows who one of them is though. Flash buys him some time, buys him some space. White swing, white face, can't isolate it. That is it. EG taking map number 1.
Excellent performance from Evil Geniuses. Start out with a strong footing. Looked like that map was going to slip away from them, but excellent calling on their attack side prevails. We have tests, twists and turns, I'm sure, later on into this series. But EG with a great start.
Yeah, amazing resilience. It's still a best of 5. Remember, plenty more action left to come, and we'll see you soon, just after this break.
When you play an actual ranked game, it's 50 minutes, but how much are you actually shooting? With AimLabs, you can compete in over 1,000 tasks that will prepare you for any scenario in any game. So the new ranked season, you play, you get points, you can compare yourself to your friends. With AimLabs' new one-to-one Valorant maps, you get instant feedback on how to get better crosshair placement, better peak efficiency. You can also instantly modify existing tasks with Discovery. Get started today by downloading AimLabs for free and join millions of other satisfied players.
Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull gives you wings.
EG, they're back to their winning ways, and I'm joined by their coach, Potter. Now, Potter, a lot of teams have struggled against Loud in this lower bracket, so why do you think that you guys were able to come out and get the upper hand straight away?
It's got to be the individual decision making. You know, yesterday we were a little slow to being decisive to all the info we got, but if you listen to the comms from these guys, we've got every I dotted and every T crossed right now. So I know that first map was a little slow, but we're warming up into it. I think with our comms, we're just a better team right now.
And very quickly, do you have anything to say to the fans? They are so loud today. They all came out here cheering for EG.
They really did. I feel the energy. You know, not all the seats are filled, but it seems that way. I don't even have words. It's been definitely a dream year for us, and yeah, hopefully we keep going on.
I believe. Thank you very much, Potter, and good luck in the next match.
Potter says it's a dream. Well, it feels like a dream season for this EG lineup who just picked up their first map win on Ascent here. But it was a tight one because Loud nearly pulled that one away. Of course, Golden Boy here alongside with Mimi. You got Mel as well as Achilleos. And you know what? Let's just jump right into this, shall we? Because what a game that was. A treat for most definitely. And I think what's even cooler about it, too, is just you get to see these two squads really approach this map their way. And even though we're mirror compositions, I really felt like we were seeing some ingenuity on both sides here as we take a look at the breakdown.
Yeah, it comes down to overtime in the end, and I thought that EG had such an excellent attack side half. Their calling was excellent there, and they started strong on defense as well, winning the pistol round. Yeah. But Loud really rallied. I think they had some good ideas on how to contend with EG, and it didn't nearly slip away from them, but it comes down to big step-ups from players like Demon One and Jojimo in overtime to close that out.
And that's what we were talking about beforehand. It cannot just be calm here, like what we saw from Ascent yesterday. We need to see Demon One deliver on those entries. We need to see other people clutching up, and we did see that this game delivered the clutches from EG. Like Ethan 1v3, the insane mid-rounding from both teams, and the lack of hesitation, especially in the calling, especially later on in the attack half from Boostio, when they're just simplifying, they're keeping it simple, they're just going to end into an A split. They aren't overcooking. Even when they get Omen Blind installed, they believe in their read that there's only two there, and it honestly pays off, and these rounds are so hectic and insane, and the fundamentals from both teams, you see Calm trying his best to stay alive here, and I think he actually ends up overextending, but the retake from EG and the trust from Calm to be able to be like, okay, you know what, we're in a 4v5, but I still trust my team to be able to go into this retake.
Yeah, I mean, Ethan being able to step up here was something that was a very big breath of fresh air because he was another player that was very lacking on that Ascent map just yesterday. Huge performance from him, big clutches coming through to just kind of continue to plow onward here for the side of EG. Even though Loud was nipping at their heels, they forced them into that OT. They were able to just put their feet down and say, okay, no resets, 14-12, we're good.
Yeah, I respect that.
And mentioning players who needed to step up, I think Demon One was really the biggest example of that one. On their attack side, constantly getting those entries to set up Boostio to call these excellent mid-rounds was pivotal. He had a great map here, and you compare that to Ascent yesterday against Paper X, where this guy was really struggling. I think his performance was critical for EG to close this out, especially since against an Osboss, who's normally excellent on Ascent. He had a bit of a slow start, but he really warmed up into that second half.
And it was like I was saying, I really wanted to see that off, and we actually saw Demon picking it off on attack, which is something I just wasn't expecting. And it's honestly, in my eyes, this is a steal. In my eyes, I thought Loud was going to take this. I know we were discussing it where you thought otherwise, and I feel like in my head, EG, you're going to this like, okay, Loud were expecting to take that. They're very confident on Ascent, and they should be feeling great going into this next map. EG should.
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest things that I saw from EG here was that when they got an advantage early on, they didn't really let it slip through their fingers. Very few 4v5 conversions from the side of Loud compared to even EG. So even when Loud was finding those first kills, because as we saw, they got 15. They had the majority of them. This was about a 33% conversion for the side of EG. So even if they did lose somebody early, they were able to drag that round back into their favor with just excellent calling and team play.
I think how they deal with their late rounds is really excellent. You already mentioned how good Ethan was in the clutch, but Calm as well, beyond what he does in the clutch, I think he's the most proactive player in those moments. He has a ton of cross-map darts to support his teammates to stop either flood retakes or to help his teammate get into the site. And also, at the very end of rounds, in those late rounds, he's the guy flanking, making the play to shut down Loud's post plants, which is so critical on these Ascent maps.
Yeah, it's quite scary how it feels like Calm at any point in time just has an understanding of where his opponents are going to be on the map, and that information cannot be stressed enough, like how valuable that is. I think was Crashies in the American season was really praised for that info gathering, and I think Calm just having that mindset that he has, and also the way that he's been approaching his particular role, unbelievable stuff. This is literally what you would want to see from an initiator trying to punch a ticket to the grand final. finals.
And remember Calm's story. This is the guy who at the beginning of Americas was really, really heavily criticized by fellow players, by the public. Everyone was saying that he should be dropped, that BCJ should come back into the roster. But then he got so much better in Americas. He stepped up at Tokyo, and now I think he's hitting the best form of his career here in the Champions playoffs, where it matters the most.
Hell of a time to peak. Indeed it is. But for now, though, let's actually hear what Coach Fraud had to say going into map 2.
That was a very close map for Loud as well. I'm joined by their coach, Fraud, here. Now, Fraud, EG, you guys, you know each other very, very well, especially on the map like Ascent. But was there anything that they did that surprised you, perhaps, maybe you overlooked, that you think that you guys can tackle and fix for map 2?
Not too much. We're obviously familiar with their play style. I think maybe a couple times they caught us off guard with some like fakes, double fakes, going a little bit slower than they normally do. So I think that was more on us, just not playing the situations as optimal. Maybe, you know, we got to play inside the bomb sites, not play retake so late, hold on to utility a little bit more. So just things that we got to improve to make sure that we can beat them the next games.
Well, thank you very much for your insight and best of luck for the rest of the series.
Incredible to think how all of this, when you actually break it down, is coming down to a few minor details. Now, as a pro player, you've been in this situation before. It's stressful to know. It's like, if I just held on to that piece of utility a little bit longer, if I had, you know, moved over here rather than going over there, like all these little things you can kind of beat yourself up about. So it's very important that this team is prepared as they get ready for map 2.
And we hear it a lot in the post-match conferences where it's like the coach is like, oh no, it's just these small details. And at this level, at this deep as well into the Champions playoffs, it really is the smallest of details. And really, we're talking about Demon 1, we're talking about Calm, but really, I was looking towards Jojimo. I feel like he's going to heat up here because he had some pivotal rounds in OT.
Well, Askin, you shall receive, because the jog is going to be on some rays, and I think, you know, getting Aspas, Jogamo, a little 1v1 action between them is always going to be exciting, of course, as we go into this Prime Gaming Agent Select for Lotus. And, you know, it's the philosophy here that we're seeing here, the philosophical differences between the two teams as we get ready for this map.
Yeah, I mean, Currency's just going to be sticking to that phase, but we see Evil Geniuses sticking with the composition that they brought out versus DRX, because they've only played Lotus once here at Champions, played it multiple times in the past. Don't have a quite winning record on this map. It's about 43% win rate, but they still looked very dominant versus DRX at 13-4 at the end of that.
It absolutely did. And as well on this map, I think the Rays head-to-head is going to be excellent between Jojimo and Aspas. They're both so good on that agent.
Couldn't agree more, Mimi. This is going to be a best of 5 that could very well go to distance. So for now, let's send it back over to your casters. Here's Brent and Sideshow.
Thank you very much, guys. Yeah, firm focus being placed again on the pistol rounds. Feel like a broken record when I'm talking about it, but it has been one of the things that's paving both of these teams in terms of their success. That previous map that we saw, you know, even in the gun rounds, they were really just neck and neck, and we saw how close that Ascent map 1 really was. And now we're heading into Lotus. Change of pace this time. This is Loud's territory. They ended up picking into this map here, but you got to be ready for all sorts of trap plays. EG, you know, they like to take fast mountain control on their attack side. That's where they're going to be starting.
Definitely an area of the map to pay attention to. Fraud was talking about holding more towards the sites, holding on to utility. We'll see if they want to contest these areas of the map whatsoever.
Yeah, rinse and repeat from the last time they played Lotus. Low down flash. Gets them early control towards C.
But not much of a response from Loud.
No, ready to just absorb it, really.
Yeah, quite happy for EG to just take that control.
Yeah, we say that less. Definitely getting cheeky with it here. The backside control is going to be gained. Granted now to EG. You've got to deal with a lot of this utility. Follow the bullet traces and you will be rewarded. Prowlers round the side. Sadak, oh my God, he's missing with it. But okay, team got his back, and now they seek to try and pivot into B. Pulled the player rotations away. Should be a free side for them, and it is. Ethan getting the plant online, but they have a massive player disadvantage. Maybe that's good enough, though. Something to even it out. Maybe a fake flash as well. Ethan was hunting for him.
Ethan's just utility dumping these 3 players that are trying to retake through the BC connector. Meanwhile, EG have managed to maintain control over Heaven.
Yeah, no clean shots, no clean fights. Orbs in their face, the decay damage kicking in.
And here comes Les.
It's a 2v3.
They've heard him.
They finally have taken control of Heaven. Les has cleared this one out, but again, time working against him. You can start to hear it tick. It's a wide phase. No way! Demon 1 eviscerates them.
One of the most impressive things about watching Demon 1 is that he's able to perform no matter what agent he's playing. The pure gun skill is on display all the time. When you put a weapon in his hand like this Ghost, it just suits his tapping aim style so well. You've got to respect his composure in big moments. I think that's what separated him from a lot of the other rookies that we've seen who have up and down performances on the big stage. For Demon One at this event in particular, the composure is just always there in those big moments.
Yeah, he's been rising to the occasion.
You never see him just panicked, crouch spraying in a corner. Nope. He's always taking his time with every shot, making sure his mechanics matter.
Yeah. It's a level of confidence that really only belongs to the youth. Before they get humbled. He hasn't had that just yet. In his mind, he firmly does believe that he's the best player in the world, and they seek to prove it in this match here, already leading one map. Back-to-back grand finals for this team would be outstanding.
Trying to funnel the ult orbs right now into Jorgamo, who's running around with an Ares in hand.
Here it is, a big stack of the Loud players here. It's read by EG. They're still committing into this one, but picking them apart again, just walking right into the smoke. Where do you get that level of confidence from? Jorgamo, no concerns, not worried. 145 with the follow-up. Less taking out Demon One, but now I know exactly where he is with the spike planted down.
Heal comes through as well. I believe Demon One had a weapon that EG will be wanting to try and recover. So that battle is where Les could try and inflict some damage.
Yeah, just wants to punish when they go to pick it up and reclaim it. Yeah, wow. Boostio, usually pretty sharp at a share of fame. Putting on a bit of a performance for us. So 2 rounds leading for EG. Good beginning. Will be even better if they get the bonus online for them.
One of the most bizarre facts about this map for Loud is that there have only, Fnatic have only ever lost Lotus to Loud. And yet, 2 out of 3 of Loud's wins on this map are to Fnatic. They can't win against other teams. So that to me is one of the biggest questions here, is the plan that Loud have brought in, this change of composition with the Raze and the Fade, is it going to work against EG? Loud love using this slightly varied version of the Viper Wall. Not many other teams running the one that Sadak does, that goes from B over towards C, instead of helping to defend the door. It's going to apply extra pressure to these EG players as they try and get in on the west side of the map.
The util was sent soaring, but there was no follow-up from it. I mean, Sadak still has energy in the orb. Stops them being able to push through here. Rotation of the door, making sure that they can fake presence, but it's only Com who's sitting there. 50 seconds remaining. Looks like the goal is these orbs. So Jorgamo's 1 away now from the showstopper.
Yeah, Com's just been defending it for Jorgamo the entire time. The Ares is not particularly going to matter when Jorgamo is bursting into the site.
Doesn't have any satchels, though.
Still going to be scary.
Yeah. And so lets it loose. Fuse dipping down. Haunt as well. No collection of the kills, really. Nobody wants to face him. They have given him complete control. Open up the site. Prime for the taking here. That's what the plan going down. And there's a fight to be taken. Over towards Rubble. That was an important one. Com falling. Really just applying that extra level and element of pressure. There's a flank attempt as well. The C's connecting. Jorgamo's still seeking to hold on to this, but now up towards Heaven. Demon One. See what he can do, trying to lock it down, but it's only got the Guardian. He can't really let it spray and pray. And with the taps, yep, not able to hit it onto the mark that he was looking for. It was Sadak. There's a fight being taken across the board. Look at the movement. It's all over the place still. Jorgamo claims an upgrade, eh? Control of B main. Still there's Fordham inside the smoke, though, placed in his face. It leaves it just up to him. And all you got to do is spray those common angles. You knew exactly where he was prior.
EG with a nice idea, though, utilizing their ults to be able to get into the B site. And they had Ethan's utility to try and set up for a pinch onto A. Cowanzine was under quite a bit of pressure in that spot, Trailblazer in his face, and yet Tuiz came to try and help out. Tuiz and Cowanzine did not have the greatest performances on Ascent. These less experienced players have been awesome in their moments throughout the year. They've really found their times to step up, but they have been arguably a little less consistent than the other players on Loud. Good to see them working together and getting straight back into this series. Loud are going to put a focus on shutting down rubble control.
Look at that, send it flying. Paint shells, haunt. Wouldn't have actually spotted as well with that smoke in the way, but it's enough that you have to respect it. G. Initial moves over towards B main.
The alarm bot got broken there, and Nano Swarm thrown out by Boostio clears that out. Now it looks like they're trying to do something similar on the other side of the map, over towards C. You know, Jogamo with one blast pack here can get rid of both of these Nano Swarms. How are you going to defend the C site? They talked about going for retakes less. That was what Frod was mentioning. Pretty impossible, though, with a lockdown in your face.
Yep. And onto the final moment, they noted there was a gap there into the corner, so just spamming it out there. Boostio inside the smoke. That is dangerous, Sadak. You're playing at Sun. It is a bit messy here. There's no spike plan. It was spammed down. Their advantage now over towards Loud, and they've got them contained, isolated still. There's another flank attempt by Com. It looks like they're just trying to buy time for him to wrap all the way round onto the flank.
No, they're leaving. I mean, the spike is going all the way towards A. Jogamo was left as a piece of bait on the C site. There's 20 seconds left, and EG are sprinting over towards the A.
That is a marathon sprint. You're going to have to get a move on.
And Boostio has split, looking to try and make the play that will win the round. You've got to go for something in a 3v5. You can't just play a standard post plan.
Loud are playing this one safe. Stick together, all four of them grouped up now, starting to run their way through here. Cosmic Divide. Another obstacle in their face here. And there is that time pressure, honestly. The longer they take, the worse it's going to get for them. Demon
Boostio has found an amazing timing.
Boostio around towards the back. Sadak meets him. But there is still that danger there. Got to imagine Com locking down the connector. One more kill to be found here. Tap onto the diffuser, trying to force out that utility of Demon 1. I believe there was a pull online for him, so it would have dissuaded it, pushed them back and away. Still, the util's being sent flying on either side, and that ever so slight angle adjustment. They just want to force the fight right to him. Time! All ticking down, half already gained. It's enough.
You can see the panic, sense it within Loud camp, throwing themselves onto the diffuse. And a couple extra kills there for Com towards the end. Loud managed to stabilize eventually. Tuiz knew that he had to get half, but Les also just tosses his body under the pyre.
Yeah.
That's a huge one for Loud to win, though. It knocks down EG's economy.
There's a massive one.
And EG had also used a bunch of big ultimates there. You know, the showstopper in a couple of rounds prior, but then also locked down these big offensive tools to try and take space. Removed from the EG arsenal.
The waves now of utility. It's the Prowler and the Boombot initially, but now they've set up control of this one, and here's the second wave from EG. They wait to Loud. It is perfect! Snake by Nanoswarm, Pain Shells, there is nowhere to run. Attempt to pick up the gun, but denied for now. Still, Loud realize they have to give up that space.
Beautiful reclear from EG. And that utility was fantastic. Put them in a 5v4. Might be winnable. With the two rifles in hand for Demon 1 and Jogamo. Dangerous players. We're watching Les, who's just tucked in front of his alarm bot there.
A very interesting position. There's no control of Mound. I mean, if they ended up re-exploring there, he would be out in the open, but we know that's not the case.
I think it's just so unlikely that EG would call a C push and open the door in this spot. But the Trailblazer is going to put Les in a really dodgy position.
Snakebite doesn't rebound. Flash as well. Can't quite get deaded. He gets caught. He is in a potential bit of danger. They're really pivoting into the B site now, trying to get that squeeze. I love the smoke, though. 2 years. Gives him into play around as well, so Les can still survive the satchels as well. I mean, EG just cannot clear this guy out of this spot, this position. They are trying their hardest. Dodging, juking, weaving to the sides. Eventually, he will be brought down. So, Plant, online, Demon 1, his job. Win that fight out, and he does do. Just that here, still flooding in. Loud. Don't want to give up this space, not for free. Still inside the smoke. Tucked to the side here, and Demon 1 still has a pull as well. He's playing for his life.
What a
Wins
round!
his fight.
What a round by EG. I was worried when Ethan missed his second flash in 5 rounds, but the rest of them played patiently, and Loud are a little slow and a little scared to get back into sites. They're not playing flood retakes. They're not trying to go and help Les. There was no utility thrown to help, no use of him as a distraction. Instead, EG were just allowed to methodically take control of the site, get the plant, and have 2 players with rifles in post plants.
Nice!
All of that with really not much of an investment.
No, and now it's Loud. The economy flipped. Them on an eco. It definitely felt like Loud were in control. Had they won round 5, they would have had good ultimates to work with, good economy to work with. They would have felt like they were in control of this half. And now it's back and forth. EG looking like they're in the ascendancy. In control of the tempo. Loud though still allowed to maintain rubble control.
Yeah, they haven't been pushed away from that. And I wonder if it's going to be biting EG. They want to go into this round with a bit of caution because Asus has got the showstopper. It's an eco buy. You never know. It might just be stacking a site. You don't want to be walking into it. But just down the minute mark. Are they going to seek to try and push away that space? 2 years. He might just disrespect them. Danger lurking on every single front. And yep. He attempted. That's a season nade. Oh my. Okay. That was the connection, but no kill. The rest of EG now starting to walk their way forwards. Walls up. Sadak laying down a snake. Buys some damage. Barely being done surely enough for the kill. It's just so unusual. There's a flash to set it up round the corner.
How's he got 2 there?
I mean, that is just absolute magician level plays. Forget rabbits. I'm talking about kills. 2 years. Jorgamo again. This is absurd, man.
Who's almost on for the ace towards the end until denied by Boostio. What an outplay of Sadak's wall. I was talking about it earlier. Loud are one of the only teams that throws this wall that goes B to C. And Jorgamo managed to get up on the... kind of dancing around it. Look how he's positioned, waiting for the flash from Ethan, and throws an underhand nade to catch Sadak, who would be lurking by.
Yeah, we didn't see that one.
What an awesome idea and perfect execution. It looks like he's as confused as we were that worked.
Forces the timeout out aloud because it is pushing him in uncomfortable territory. So only 4-2 so far on this map, but already you're a map down. Yes, it's a best of 5, plenty more action left to come, but you kept the dream alive of trying to defend your chance at a championship title by besting Fnatic the other day. But now you are up against the scrappy upstarts from your own region of Americas, EG.
Quite.
They've got so much to prove here, determined to do it.
This is a domestic rematch for the chance to face Paper X in the grand final. No matter which way it goes, our grand finals is going to be Americas versus Pacific. The question is just who? The Americas #1 seed, #3 seed, it says up at the top, but it was Loud that won domestically over there. And now playing in LA, looking to try and make it.
This could be a bloodbath. I'm seeing 2 showstoppers online. I'm seeing the Razors facing each other.
Yeah, that's the thing. These rounds have actually bought time for EG to get back up to the showstopper, close to the lockdown. These massive offensive tools are back online almost for EG.
Yeah, single piece of util, just a Haunt, not a Boombot as well, but already it's been disrespected.
Look how both teams are trying to hold on to utility.
This really could just come down to the ultimates. They're going to let them rip. Yes, they are. Jorgamo, showstopper! Couldn't get around the corner in time. Still, there's the answer. Showstopper again blinded. Dodge out of the way. Boombot, nade, follow it up. Why not? And Aspas still stands his ground. Enough damage dealt.
Incredible!
It's pure friendly fire, but to himself.
What an amazing play by Jorgamo. Just back-to-back rounds. A delight to watch from him. But the squeeze is on Loud here.
Yeah.
Sadak's come to try and plug the gap over by Breakable Door. What's he got, a pit to work with? They need to stay more mobile than that. He can't afford to use it.
In this scenario, when you're essentially a player down in terms of that disadvantage, 2 years, just needed the information. That was the purpose of the ult. He knows that they're still here, sitting towards it. I do like the call though by EG to cut noise here, but it hasn't pulled players away. Instead, Loud still have chances to get back into this one. Close to the side. Les is playing inside the orb. They want to spam the corners. The angles! No one's turning! No one's facing! And oh my goodness, it's whiffage all over the bloody place! EG Seconds remaining, seconds to spare. Sadak, another chance for him. Snake bite, ricocheting around to the side. Damage not done. No vulnerability. Ethan is left towards it to 1v1. Sadak, jump spot just narrowly there. No more util. Just has to force the fight, but it comes down to it. The aim duel, the gun play, and he did not expect that. Ethan brings them up to 5.
And holds strong. That's only Ethan's second kill of the map so far, but it means an entire round for EG. What an opening by Jorgamo there. The outplay is excellent, and he throws his own body on the line as well. But things got really sloppy over here. Problems in the EG communication for sure, because comms should have been turning around at that point, but also a little fortunate that they had less with a presumably scroll wheel jump.
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah, you see those in the bigger moments more often. And Les has still been having a phenomenal game.
Recovering it.
This is the issue though, EG getting up to bigger and bigger ultimates.
Yeah.
Using the showstopper to set them up in great position to win the prior rifle round, and now they're on an anti-eco. And it looks like they're headed to just completely rotate the map away. Loud stacking over towards the A side, and EG heading C. This one may end up being uneventful, but it's going to continue to apply pressure to Loud.
It's one of the things that makes EG such a dangerous team to play against. Now, it doesn't look like they're going for the orbs just yet. They want to try and claim the side. But the way they just get that war machine rolling, not just with the economy now, obviously the gun's in their hands, but I mean, most commonly you see it when they play Fracture, you know, 4 orbs to pick from, and they just start rotating, snowballing the ultimates, keeping them online. It can mean a bit of an uphill battle here for Loud. You just have no chances really into this one.
I suppose the only benefit being that Loud are probably not going to be baited into using any of their ults. And still being on the losing side of things. But that is a slim, thin silver lining. Loud need to be able to recover.
Yeah. Signs of life coming out. There's a nade over the top. Let that one fly. Loud looking to do some of that damage as well. But again, it's the rifles that are really doing the damage and the work. Can't withstand it. Onto the flank. Watchful eye of Ethan.
Prime Gaming flawless. It certainly feels like it. EG coming into the next with their lockdown too. So this is where Loud need to turn things around. They need a game plan against what EG have been up to. And I think Loud are struggling here a little, because when they throw all of their utility early towards A, suddenly they're vulnerable to EG just retaking that area later on. Loud need to post somebody up and be able to help them without using all of their utility in that area. We're going to see another clash again.
There's 4 players. EG have been doing a decent job as well. Waiting out, baiting the utility, siphoning it out aloud, and then re-hitting a little bit later on. This time, though,
I like this.
It's not the game plan.
Look how quick Aspas has rotated away. He knows that this is not going to be a continued hit towards the A side of things. His nade is not in position to be able to deny this, but he's got it primed to stop the actual follow-up on the lockdown.
Lockdown is nice. Still sending that util there, though, with the snake bite vulnerability. A chance of breaking this one. The Cosmic Divide gives that extra level, an element of defense. Boostio just seeking to play in front of it. Gonna hit the spray down with it. Sadak still there, holding his ground with the 9-4. Scattered across, no sound cues, but still, it's EG reigning supreme.
Loud never have a chance to be able to get set up for any kind of play. There's no trap at the start of that. Sure, they take a bit of rubble control, but EG are instantly away from them. The pace that Boostio is calling at right now is way too much for Sadak to hold on and deal with. And there goes the final player. The final domino tumbles. EG in an amazing spot currently. This play from Boostio's so cool. And he's got his lockdown. He knows that the players are going to be pushed backwards. And when it's mirrored with the Cosmic Divide, there's that tiny little gap, and he just gets in front of it, reads the fact that Aspas is going to want to fill up the space, and punishes. Loud have not found opportunities for these big players like Aspas and Kawanzin, who we've seen running the map on defense side previously, to get active. When Loud was playing against Fnatic, Aspas and Kawanzin were holding hands, setting up high-low setups on B all the time, being active and mobile with their Season 8 combos. It felt like that duo was everywhere. And EG are too quick. They're moving around the map at such speed that the rotates can't hold on. The defensive setups are not fluid enough.
Seeing those adjustments here. This is the second time I'm being caught by Loud. For good reason. You can all see the scoreline. 7-2. This is your map pick. If you are Loud, best of 5 still. We're out of the best of 3s now. It won't be the death blow. It won't be the end to your tournament, but it's a spot that nobody ever wants to be in.
Here's another rifle round coming up. Now, Loud have been putting an emphasis on taking rubble early on, but then they haven't quite been able to get the read of whether EG are looking to re-clear A or pivoting elsewhere. How quickly do Aspas and Kawanzin rotate off? Can they get the correct idea of what Boostio's calling?
This time, oh my goodness! What is that? Okay, satchel across. I mean, barely a pixel to react to all of that. But as the utils offloaded, I mean, again, first kill for EG. It's more than a driving seat. At this point, they own the bloody map.
Sarakri exploring, caught by Boostio as well. The IGL's having a very physical manifestation of the mental battle that Boostio is also winning.
Spot the player. I mean, do you still want to go for this one? Just farming up the orbs. Ethan, Seekers are online. Are going to point them exactly to where the targets are. Chads for less, but just the Chads. He's traded. Could have potentially got 2. Still moving to the opposite direction now, away from the Seekers. They have free access, and with the plant down now onto B. No control over towards Heaven.
Com is deep, though.
Yeah.
Com's holding a line here, so it's, you know, they do have some soft control towards Heaven.
And Loud just feel like they can't go for this, I think. Maybe if there's a kill afforded to them, offered to them, but they invested everything. Aspas has got a Guardian. I'm going to say with Guardian, do they want to go for this? It looks like it. Maybe if they can find a pick. Double face. Now towards the connector, but so much to deal with. Boostio tucked inside the smoke. Flash play, pushing forwards. On top of it, Aspas. Not enough.
Caught up, snarled up, looking for a retreat that is not there. No mercy, no quarter. EG up 8-2. How does this kill even happen?
Oh my.
I mean, the reactions there are unbelievable.
Yeah, Ethan's flashes setting up most of this. Disgusting. And yeah, painstaking on Frod's face here. Barriers going down. It has not been working out for Loud here. EG, water control. Here's a trap play. Look at that. Pull through the choke point. Satchels with the flash. It's all set up. Wait, Les, just got to backpedal. He has to give up this space. Deep flank attempt though from Loud now. They're going to be moving together as a group of 3. That could be the difference maker here if they're able to find the timing well enough.
It's so fast from EG. It's such a departure from what they did on their attack side of Ascent. Demon One's ready to collect.
Open angle, a player's back's going to be towards them. They cannot hold against it. EG. Locked down to the side here. Will the nade clean it up? It does indeed. It breaks it all.
It's all over. It's all desperation on the side of Loud. EG completely in control. I'm thinking back, Bren, to that interview that Frod gave after the first map. And he said, we were caught off actually by how slow EG were on their attack side. They definitely brought a lot more patience to it. And then Boostio's just turned up the tempo heading into Lotus.
Yeah.
Loud came in here to the second map thinking, all right, guys, we need to slow down. We need to save utility. We need to hard anchor. We can't afford to be playing retake everywhere. And instead, EG are just hitting them over and over again with these fast haymakers.
Yeah. It's unusual for how the map is typically played as well. Think about Lotus, I mean, it's a big map, right? The attack side typically going to be taking areas of it just in waves, emanating, using that util. Boostio can barely believe it himself, but yeah, one more round in this half will set them up beautifully.
And all of these rounds will be giving them more and more confidence. They're a very confidence-based team. Aspas forced to go without armor in this round. Wherever EG go, they've just had it for free.
It's damage done to less. extra money in the bank as well. You can buy operators who can afford it.
And look,
Might
it's
as well.
It's like flowchart Valorant calling from Boostio. Jogamo goes C, gets an orb. Now he's going to go B, get another orb. They get ready to showstopper into B. This Viper's bit completely useless because Jorgamo's looking to try and commit to B with his ult.
And here it is, showstopper online, close to the corner. Oh, what is this movement, Kamazine? No way! Not a chance in hell, but still the bullets, they are raining through, fired through. It's enough at the end of the day. Less. The shorty pellets going wide sight. There's going to be gains. Slow down for about a moment here for EG, and they're just holding their ground. They know the Loud feel like they have to repeat into this. They know that they have to take the fights in 2 years. Wanting to do the most, but look at this, right behind him, there is nowhere to run.
Les with it all to do again. This map must have been painful from his perspective. He's had some unreal performances at Champs across all of the tournaments he's ever played, to be honest. But when you're left repeatedly in 1v3s, 1v4s, it's just not doable.
It's just not doable, and even if you do, I mean, it's the third round online. First one, though, has to win the fight against Com, and, well, shot at the dart with a spray through into the wall. 10-2 is the half we're looking at. This is Loud's map pick in our lower bracket finals.
And this is so different. EG in the past have beaten Loud on Split and Ascent, and then Fracture too. But they haven't come at them on Lotus. They haven't come at them on a map where they've beaten Fnatic like this. 10-2 is dominant.
Systematic dismantling right now. Let's send it down. We have an interview with a special guest.
Thank you very much, guys. I am now joined by Coriano, one of the Loud's streamers. Now, first of all, I wanted to ask you how you're doing. It must be a little bit stressful right now to watch party this and see your team on stage.
I'm sweating so much. I'm so stressed out, but I think we can do better, and I think we can recover on this match.
I wanted to ask you, what have you thought about their run this year? Because I don't think many people expected them to make it this far in this tournament. So talk me through that.
We are doing so similar than we did last year, and I think the core like Aspas, Les, and Sadak are really great, and I hope we can go to the finals this champion.
Oh, I think everybody wants to see that. Talking about everybody, what about the Brazilian fans? How much do you think this means to them to be able to see their team in another grand final at Champions?
We love to cheer for Brazil, and having Loud here is so awesome. Doing this core stream here is awesome, so thank you guys, thank you Brazilians, you are awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, of course, everyone here in the Kia Forum that's supporting Loud, thank you very much. I also wanted to ask you very quickly though, EG, they're looking pretty good. What do you think about this team, and what do you think Loud need to do to be able to beat them?
EG is a really strong team. I think Demon One is an awesome duelist, and I think Loud have to, play together, win clutches. We're not hitting our shots, so we need to recover and do better.
And lastly, is there anything that you'd like to say, maybe in Portuguese, to send the players some energy and the fans at home as well?
Go Loud and vamos.
Vamos, vamos, vamos. I'm going to send this back to you guys and see if Loud can make a comeback in the second half.
There's a chance of it. A lot of experience going to be gained on either side of these teams as well. They've been in these situations, maps just being blowouts. It's about how you rally back after it. But hard pressed on Lotus are Loud, so.
It's such a bizarre map for Loud. It really is. Having been able to beat Fnatic twice on this, one other win against DRX, and then they've lost the other 3 times that they've played Lotus over the course of their history together. It's been a bizarre map to follow from Loud's point of view, and this one, they've just been destroyed. They need pistol bonus minimum to even get into a position where we would think this was winnable.
This looks like something created by EG here. Yeah, waiting for the presence. Here it is. Flash play out of the side. Kawazine way too far forward. Nate missing still with the frenzy. Shots are fired out on even sides. It's brought it to 3v3, but damage definitely done to these Loud players. Sadak. Oh, just missing it. Boostio tucked.
And only less than 2 E's with 70 health between them. EG once more grasping hold of the tempo on the pistol round. Right? It's them that's initiating the play. And Loud forced to react, always forced to respond and react because EG are playing quickly and putting the pressure on Loud. Com's holding this line. He's going to take contact first against less than 2 E's. Why is it so weak? Ooh. A smidge of extra damage done to less.
30 seconds.
30 seconds left.
Com repositioning now up towards the higher ground. Doesn't want to let anything slip away. A lot of uncertainty. Thinks they could have walked up towards stairs.
Instead, Loud are looking to flank again. They can get a plant down here, and Les is in a spot where he needs to make magic happen.
Got to make a play. Com's close though as well. Good shot down TP up top. Does Com realize it? Yes, he does. 2 Years was laying down the smoke as well. Couldn't see a thing. Less from the side. Doesn't clear the corner! And he wades right into him. Boostier's wondering where the hell was he? Look at his cam.
Les just caught a timing there, slipping into stairs right behind the player that was rotating over. And EG are playing with him. Savor the moment. They're a team powered by having fun in these kind of situations, not taking things too seriously. They find themselves up 11-2.
Vibe's got to be
just
good.
dominant.
I love this opening as well. I mean, we talk about Loud and the amount of preparation they put into these pistol round plays as well, but EG, they're another team that love to do it. You can see it, the idea there. 3 players stacked up, waiting for signs of life with a flash play popped up, the nades, Cowsing too far pushed forwards. And yeah, Boostio. Left wondering what the hell happened there. Well, it's a pistol round win. Loud forced to make a difficult decision with the economy.
Com can hear all of this happening over towards Mound. And I'm sure the EG players will be suspicious of a force buy. Com really wants to play inside that Viper orb, but there's just so much spam going into it at the moment. Trailblazer.
Lay it down ahead of time here. Trailblazer, yeah, it does push back less. Got to respect this. The whole goal of all of this posturing by Loud has been to remove the front section of C in case there was Killjoy utility there. Now we know that there's not. Boostio shifted his setup, and now they might just be walking right into this. Aspas has got a satchel. He's got to cross this angle. How does Com play this? There it is. Satchel breaks it apart. He's maybe caught the timing inside the orb. Where's the damage being done? So damn low, no kill still. Bringing him down. Eventually there with the trade. Turret in your face here, Aspas. The nade flying. Put your plant online. Might have to give up your life for it. 2 years.
He gets out.
Brought down to half. BG are so fast into this, they've already taken up space towards the back of the site. Head poking over the top there. Leicester spotting them as they're moving in. Bullets really running out here still. EG looking like they should be in control. As I say that, still it comes down to these kills. Round to the back, 1v1, damage done, enough. Softened up for Aspas with the judge.
So the force buy gets Loud into a position where they can finally win a round. But the gap just looks simply too large. 8 rounds ahead, EG.
Yeah, never seen a comeback from this scoreline before.
Not for Loud. 2E's doing a great job there, picking up 3 kills, making it winnable for Aspas, who has Com's judge towards the end.
So knife's edge is what some of these rounds are coming down to, but still EG with a sizable lead. The orb dropped down, tucked to the corner here. Shots, Boostio, normally so good for it, reload at this time, at this place, going for it, but no. Can't get the extra bullets to try and do some significant damage. Com is a sole survivor.
With only a frenzy, this looks like Loud getting up to 4. Com, he can find himself, tuck himself into an interesting position, might make this one. Just spotted out by 2E's. I mean, at this point, do you even want to commit into A?
Yeah.
You got your pick of where they want to go.
Any direction.
It's going to be a B pivot here.
Find you.
Com will just be forced as well to take an impromptu timeout. Probably economical damage. Trying to go down to the spike as well.
Yeah, I think this gives us a decent opportunity as well to talk about the map pool just a little. Because while this looks like a slam dunk for EG to close out, the later we get into the pool, the worse the maps get for EG, in my opinion. The ones that you can't see up in the top left, you got Split and Bind.
Yeah.
Both maps where I think Loud are extremely comfortable and have been looking good recently. So when I was looking at this map veto, I was thinking EG's best chance might be to close this out 3-0. At the moment, they're in a great spot to do so, right?
It's no way. There's just no way.
However,
checking. 2 years will not be able to take
drawn
that
to his back.
Yeah. So taking away the gun.
That's a decent idea there for Com towards the end to make something out of it. But yeah, it's not disastrous for Loud, even if they end up falling here. The chances of them being able to pull off a reverse sweep in a BO5 like this are actually a little higher than you might think, especially when you consider how some of these matches have gone before. I mean, you dial back to the first time that these two teams faced off against each other. It's week 4 of Americas this season. EG come out with a 13-3 first map, rocking Loud, bash back onto their heels, who then 13-0 them. So both of these teams very comfortable with turning the ship around. Loud have taken very fast C control in this one.
Nothing to stop them from committing over towards the C site other than Ethan Com.
I mean, this is where you would see Boostio calling for Aspas to go and work an orb and then using the showstopper to get in. And instead of being prioritizing the ultimates here to make space, Aspas was looking for a timing instead. Now dropping back. I mean, 4 players set up here over towards C.
It's pulled a lot of the EG players over. Maybe anticipating and expecting it, so...
The flash was nice, though, from Ethan. It didn't hear anything, so now they're rotating off.
Right.
They're finding the read.
Boostio. Prime rat gameplay, but this time sniffed him out.
And the spike is headed back towards the weak side. Everybody rotated based on that flash from Ethan, and now it's only Com home. Aspas still has not picked up an ult orb. They're just going for this.
The reveal. Prowler as well, bullets. Slamming into the choke point, but you got to respect it and back away here. 18 seconds left. Got to get a move on here if you are Loud. It's probably not going to be the most ideal plan in the world. A tap to force out this util, but again, time is of the essence. You've got 12 seconds left. You haven't pulled this util out. It hasn't been siphoned out. Prior, Sancho's over the top EG! They've dismantled them! Absolutely and thoroughly. No time left. And just like that, it's a round win. Everybody falls, but EG, you know they're going to be happy with it.
What a situation. And you see the deep sigh there from Sadak. How did that one go wrong? They had the sight. They were getting set up for the plant.
10 seconds left.
And it just all got denied. The blast pack as well from Jorgamo is excellent,
it's
even
all
after the fact. I mean, Jorgamo even being there in time.
On the precipice now.
EG, actually, even having won that round, are still going to have to take an eco here. Their economy's not in a good spot, and they'd just rather play it safely.
This is disrespectful. Look at this from Les. You don't see this from Killjoy players on this map. Normally, they're locked down, tethered to the util. He is in such a forward position. Com with the movement. Not enough to survive. Demon 1. Okay. A weapon delivery straight away. Here's a Sancho showstopper. What a fundamental. No way! No way! He's broke his ankles. He's done him dirty. And just like this, it's crumbling. It's falling. Kawazine. Got to get some stability into the mix here. Cosmic Divide cuts his way through as well. The choke point ankle. Not watched for.
Nice flash.
Lovely flash. Nade on top. Sada can't swing. Can't play towards this one. Ethan sticking to the defuse. Vulnerable up. Half on the defuse already smoked off. Got to push forwards. It's covered. Once more. Util there. Fights. There needs to be one. The Util's not connecting. And it's a full stick to win.
Evil Geniuses closing things out on Lotus. Delivering the second blow to Loud.
13-4 is way more dominant than I was expecting. EG said that they've done a ton of work on this map. Used to be towards the bottom of their map pool, but they're feeling very confident on it now. And it ends with the MasterCard Thrifty. What is this?
Look at this.
Just ridiculous from the two Raze players. Both playing that situation beautifully, but Jorgamo out on top.
Nasty, nasty stuff. Still more series, of course, on the map left to be played. It's a best of 5. Remember it here in our lower bracket finals. Do not go anywhere.
Valorant 冬の陣千秋楽誇りをかけた戦いを
What a clutch from Asus!
その目で見届けろ 世界との取り組み幕開く両国国技館にて開催
Little moments of joy are not so little. They are pure joy. Therefore, treat yourself. Come to Andalucía.
Red Bull gives you wings.
saying it's supposed to go. What I'm trying to say is what's important. I love you more than, I love you more than $1 million. Oh, even though it's not like I've ever had anything close. If somebody put a gun to your head, I'd take the bullet instead. Oh, just as long as you know that it's not enough to have you by my side right now. 'Cause sooner or later we're both gonna die. Oh, I need you there in the afterlife. I want you dead or alive. I want you dead or alive. Dead don't part when you're part of my soul. We can't start unless you already know that once you're in there, there's nowhere else you can go. I want you dead or alive. I get you dead or alive. I can't be for you forever if I spend my whole life being afraid that you will find someone better the second we leave Earth. This isn't forever, that isn't forever. Don't you ever try
Huh.
Of course, guys, you can get even more from Valorant with Xbox Game Pass subscribers with their accounts linked. Get access to all agents, even new ones, on day one, as well as 20% XP boost on the Battle Pass and all event passes. Of course, guys, you can see there's like a QR code that should pop up on the screen. There it is. It's a full screen. Scan that QR code. Make sure you get your Riot ID linked up with your Xbox account. As a person who actually uses this, I can tell you, it's kind of pace.
What a deal!
Yeah, what a deal! Do it now! Anyway, shout out to Xbox Game Pass for making that happen. In any case, so folks, welcome back as EG are up 2-0 in this best of 5 series, and we hadn't seen Lotus in a hot minute from this EG lineup, and we got it, and oh boy, did it look good at Kilios. These guys were cooking.
They absolutely were. It was just complete decimation, much like we saw. I mean, I was teeing this up. They played it once here at Champions versus DRX, and they come out here and they absolutely clap once again. They deliver the goods, and this team, they changed around their composition. They start working the Astra in for Demon One of all people, rather than having that Omen in the mix, and it just looks completely and utterly fantastic.
It's so good out of this team, and I think as well, something that was really missing in their series they played yesterday against Paper X, and I even feel like at times in Ascent, was that so much of this run for EG was predicated on them just having fun, going into the server, playing to win, being lighthearted, and just celebrating their victories. They're really similar to Paper X in that way, but I felt like when these games were slipping away, they were losing that. But here on Lotus Mill, they were just clearly just chilling, having so much fun out there on the stage.
It really looks like the lighthearted, fun EG that we've all come to know and love is here, and it's in the stadium today, and it's fun to watch. And I think it honestly makes a lot of sense that it's a Raze map that we see this out of, because we saw Jaw pop off.
Yeah, he was excellent. And I mean, it's beyond just the vibes. The calling for Boostio throughout that, I was really impressed with on their attacking side especially. But it really was Jojimo, the guy who was getting all of that done. His entry kills when he's playing the Raze always look beautiful. I think he has probably the best Raze movement out of anyone at this point.
I would say
the things he pull off
probably, right?
is ridiculous. Yeah, for sure the best from North America.
I'll raise my hand for Jing. I can agree with you on that one for North America.
But he wants to play him again, clearly, because he's putting up so many numbers here in this match. His util usage is excellent.
Unbelievable stuff. And you know, Jog, we oftentimes, you know, joke about his, you know, his like demeanor, the way he carries himself, but he can't stress enough that like when you have a player that is that comfortable, Mel, in the server, that could just, you know, do what they want to do, and yeah, they may not get it every single time, but they know that their teammates are behind them, backing them up. That has to be a very freeing feeling as a duelist Raze who has to make that space for your team, especially on Lotus.
And behind every flying through the air Raze is that Ethan behind him. Like there's that support player where we see not every Raze on the planet, there's an Ethan behind him. Everyone hops on a rank, Ethan just pops up.
Yeah, Ethan's just there the whole time. I didn't know you were in my game, bro.
There's that all-star support, and like anywhere he wants to go, there's like a Flash or a Dog, or his team is always behind him. And like I said, it's funny that we see all this fun come back because it's a Raze map, and you just see him flying through the air and getting these insane frags, and it's just like so goofy to watch sometimes.
And it again shows the variety that EG can play with. They can have those really slow, sometimes overcookie mid-rounds on Ascent where they're super slowing down this game. They showed some of that here on Lotus as well, and then they can also have these rounds where they turn up the pace to to a million where they're double satcheling and showing these really well put together set executes. This team has a lot of variety, which I think Loud is struggling a little bit to contend with.
Oh, 100%, because it does genuinely feel as if this Loud lineup has really struggled to identify what are the win conditions here for the Achilleos. I could be wrong on this, but it feels like, what are you going to shut down Jogamo? Well, there's going to be Demon 1 there for the support, or Busio's going to get you something in the round. It's very hard to pinpoint for Loud where they try and shut this down.
No, it really is, and it just feels like they are consistently reeling from just getting clocked in the face. Like every single round, especially there on Lotus, it's just Jogamo's blast backing at you. Like you said, Ethan's right there behind. He's setting in those flashes. He's blinding people up. I mean, Jog ends up going 4-1 when it comes down to first kill, first death, and then he's typically getting more kills on top of it. So there's just this compounding issue where things are snowballing out of control with every single round, and it feels like Loud have just struggled to find any semblance of footing to be able to stand their ground.
All right, Prime Gaming agents selected Loud.
Okay.
They busted out the Harbor Viper here. We also, see some adjustments, but also the Yoru is back for Ethan.
I mean, we've seen this from EG. It's excellent. They have great ideas built around combining that with the Silver utility, and while they let the game slip versus Paper X, I still think it's the right comp to play. For Loud, though, with elimination on the line for the reigning champions, they're going back to the composition that defined their year. They started the Harbor Viper meta. They've moved away from it, but now they're heading back to the map that was their best to start this year off.
And it's going to be important for EG to remember what the weaknesses and the counters of this comp were earlier this year, and tapping into that.
They absolutely will. And for EG, if they could close it here, if they could eliminate Loud, make it to back-to-back finals, and have a chance at the championship title here by defeating the team who 13-0'd them on the very same map, it would be a beautiful end to their arc.
How poetic that would be, but Loud certainly don't want that to be a reality. Let's go ahead and get map 3 started. Let's see if EG can 3-0 this, or will Loud start the journey for the reverse sweep? Let's send it back over to Brennan Sideshow.
Let's get to it then. It would be poetic if EG would manage to close this one out in a 3-0, but I think the forum, everybody here wants to see this go the distance. We want something explosive, and I hope we're about to get it as well. The return to that Viper Harbor for Loud is an intriguing one. It's an interesting one. They haven't played it in, what was it, 3 months, Josh?
Yeah, it's been over 3 months since they pulled out the Harbor Viper on Pearl. They didn't like it. It started out very good for them when they first initiated the Harbor Viper meta, and then other teams started playing it more. Other people started beating them. They lost to Crew, they lost to NRG, and they just started banning the map. And then when they brought it back in, they were running the Breach Fade. I don't know how much Loud have been practicing this composition on Pearl recently. We'll have to see how confident and comfortable they look, because I've been so impressed with how Ethan plays the Yoru here.
This is a blinding speed, how close. Side here, it's Bustio. Tucked himself in. He wants to play inside the smoke as well, just so that nobody can cross past. Mid control, Link taken, Aspas side by side, but as flanks on flanks occurring as that falls, Tara doesn't see. It's a gap in it. Bustio was watching though. It's almost intentional. Instantly there with the trade. There's less able to gain that ground for them. Ethan still at the top high ground angle. That should be available for them, should be given to them. Never to push this one back. Now with this competition, the new changes on Pearl, it is weaker to try and play this. Ethan!
What a play!
What is that? TP's close to the corner, but Kawazine collects that, shuts it down before it really gets out of hand. Now he is the thorn in their sides. Towards the back of Halls, needs to be cleared out here, but it really just might come down. Again to the gunfire. Spam into the smokes as well, a tap onto it, not really being forced to use their utility. Kawazine, they still need to deal with him finally. It is so, Demon 1 there, but brought to his knees. A pistol round for Loud.
And already showing a bit of comfort, dealing with what Ethan threw at them. Unusual play from the Yoru. Don't see Ethan going for things quite that aggressive all the time. But also the timing looking very tight on the B split. This was something that Loud was struggling with actually earlier on in the year, or earlier on even in this tournament. When we saw them running these B splits, the timing was really off between the players down B main and the people going through Link. Here we see aggression from EG on their eco round.
Yeah, just a stack.
Loud are nowhere near. One of the things that Loud really benefit from when they run the Harbor Viper is that Aspas is forced to go at the pace of the Cascade. There is no messing around. You must take space when that is used. And And I think that helps keep everyone on the same page. Les controls the aggression for one.
Yeah, being pushed. How does he claim 2 in the middle of that under all of that?
That's incredible. Going 2 for 1 there and not even donating them a rifle. Doing all of that with the Sheriff. Giving the info to the rest of the people over on the A side that they've got a free plant and can go and take whatever post-plant positions they like.
Yeah, not planning for backside.
Yeah, I'm not hugely in favor of the plant position, but I don't think it'll end up mattering too much.
It's a big map, lots to traverse here if you're IEG just trying to get a move on, but realistically, again, trying to do that damage to the economy. Go down to the spike, deny it a chance of Oltorps, because already you're seeing that standard whirl into motion. Kawazine, he's 3 away.
Certainly. And with Sada going for the plant, you can see them starting to churn up the lockdown as well.
This is a cheeky play. Smoke's there, got to remove all of that. Wait,
he would have time.
He would have time. You got to try and put a stop to this. He does have time. Giacomo!
He does.
It's broken. Okay. And they achieved their goal. I mean, listen. They got the weapons out of their hands, but my God, was that close.
That is a lot of damage that Loud have taken. And it's an early scare. Nice work in this round from Les and the rest of Loud to put themselves in a good position, but oh, that got a bit too close. Tui's required to get onto that. And Loud would have been feeling comfortable, except for the scare just then. And now they're going to buy up, so this isn't a bonus round that they're coming into. Look at the money for Sadak, Tui's, Aspas. They've all bought rifles.
Straight up buy round. Ethan, tucked close to the corner here. He can actually use a TP to escape. I don't believe he's playing. Oh, no, he does have it towards the corner.
Wow. Great awareness.
Really good heads up. I mean, Ethan plays there a lot.
Yep.
If they've been reading the VODs, they're going to know that he's going to be isolated there, banking on the TP to get him out of things. Close.
Also, an awareness on Boostio. Oh. Shut down both of the major threats from EG.
What a risky move to make. And the fights are just being handed to him. Aspas. Happy to grant them the death wish.
As each of the players on EG tries to make the play that's required to get them back into the round. And Loud are just eating up all of that aggression. The attack sides have been good from both of these teams. I mean, we just watched a blowout on Lotus. But we didn't even really get to see Loud's attack.
No.
They just lost so heavily on the other side.
No chances for it, but a very good beginning for a Loud team that has been knocked down to the floor here.
And especially with them playing a composition that, once more, we haven't seen this in over 3 months for Loud on Pearl.
And they did write the book on it.
Yeah.
To such a degree as well that they ended up starting to ban it. Everyone else was playing it. They didn't want to play it anymore.
Yeah, the innovation ended up being a bit of an issue for them. And this is a great start. Hunting down EG, trying to take rifles out of the hands. Demon 1 responds. Kawanzin sent back in. Les looks like he wants to swing towards the end of Demon 1. Demon 1 is denied.
Okay.
So what a start this is for Loud. A team that is down 0-2, trying to pull off the reverse sweep. We've only seen 2 reverse sweep BO5s in the main VCT circuit. Both came this year. It's always a challenge to dig yourself out of a hole like this, but the maps are actually not that bad for Loud. Pearl, Split, Bind.
You can maybe see it.
If EG take their foot off the gas, it is definitely possible.
Everyone plays towards mid here with the defensive positionings. A main control. It's given up. Tap under the orb. They're trying to bait a trap play. Anything that EG might have had, you know, flash around the corner trying to fight over this one, but...
And often Ethan is going to be around that position.
Yeah.
You know, he has his own aggressive plays that he can go for, holding off angles with the teleport or flashing himself through smokes. But he's often going to be throwing supportive utility too, kind of like he would when playing KO on this map.
Giacomo has the rifle. Should have taken these fights against him now. They really saw less here. The Seekers will point them in the right direction here. Do they have utility to clear out Giacomo close to the corner? He does respect it. You can immediately see him backing away like the dart. Con, good placement on it. It's really bogging them down and slowing them from being able to get into this, but maybe the rifles will be enough. Smoke's in their face. Backside control towards Hall. Still going to be holding on to it. A couple of these players. We need a big opening now. Great flash. That was off of Ethan. A double swing and a double face here, down to the low ground. Another flash as well to try and set Boostio up, but it won't be caught unaware, not twice in a row here. High ground still being held, but as they look to reposition, they're all just getting cleaned up. All the kills funneling Demon 1. Bit of a test for him. Damage was done. The time, it is running short now. No chance of winning this round, definitely. Make them think twice about taking those fights against him, though.
Demon 1 still looking confident, but Loud go up 4-0. That was an eco round from EG, and you still saw some nice ideas on the way that Ethan's looking to try and flash them in on the retake. But Loud, one of the benefits of them winning these rounds and being on the attack side, being able to get these spike plants, is that they're building up to large ultimates. They just used the Seekers. Cowanzine already kind of halfway back to getting that online.
The Reckoning.
But it's the Reckoning that's the big tool, yeah.
Yeah. Pay attention to 2 years now. He's going to be using that. Most likely to clear out this side. As long as they're given A main control for free, which there's no big play here from EG. Just Demon 1 holding it. Praying that he gets a connection with the bullets. Got to back away, though. And again, so disciplined by Loud. They are very aware that EG's comp lends itself to trap plays as soon as they hear the orb tap. There could be a flash around the corner. There could be a play from EG to punish. They tap it out. They wait it out.
Jorgamo's gone for this one-way in art. And it looked like Cowanzine was trying to flash Aspas in to take contact. Here's that flash.
Doesn't connect.
It doesn't connect with anything. That allows Jorgamo to continue to hold this. Reckoning goes through more pressure onto Jorgamo.
Yeah, and this is a nice one, actually. Close to the side, trying to squeeze
What?
it. Jorgamo! Push it through into main!
What is he up to?
Barely enough bullets as well. But he adjusts the aim anyway towards the back here. Com trying to bring down the Cove. Any sort of damage he might do. No, it's just counter spam in action in theory. Demon 1 over the top. What is that? Aspas normally so clean with the movement, but they're just answering back with bullets of their own. Through the wall now, Ethan hoping maybe he can spot ahead. The spam damage, he's connecting with the wall bangs, but forced to reload now. Just 30 left with the reload back. He's really running out of bullets to make the most of this one here. Still needs to be locked down with his crossfire. Center side hack, hitting the aim. Cowanzine bailing them out.
Loud go at 5-0. Feeling it, getting into the rhythm, believing in themselves. And Cowanzine, what a rebound. He's had 2 really limp-looking maps. And to me, the biggest difference between when Loud are playing at an excellent level and when they're playing at a mediocre level, when they went out in Tokyo or where they've been struggling at other times, is getting Cowanzine online. He's so aggressive in the way that he likes to play the solo initiator in these comps. If he's hidden, Loud looks so much better as a unit. He had a rough beginning. Maps 1 and 2 barely on the scoreboard. And now up towards the top, 6 and 2, playing Sky, back, home field. And EG haven't really been able to get too much out of this Yoru. Ethan's been holding that same kind of one and done spot over towards B long.
Yeah.
With the gate crash to try and rotate to A, but that also is just offering Loud A control. And in the one time where Loud did go towards B, they killed Ethan before he was able to get anything done anyway. So I'd like to see Ethan going into the re-clear mode. Allow Loud to fight over A main and then actually try and contest them with more flashes and get back up in their faces. Not playing aggressively right as the barriers drop, but if Loud are in that space, fighting them.
I'll see those adjustments until the next round after this one because the money it's not looking too hot here. Demon 1 does have the Blade Storm though. Always danger with this guy when he set up. I mean, he's currently leading 7-5. More kills, I think, than the rest of his team combined, but
they're going to recon and flash and try and fight over A main there, EG, at the start of the round. And then they just post Com up. Ethan takes his gate crash to go towards the other side of the map, so they have a very strong B site. And Com, by the look of it, just spotted somebody. There's a lot of Loud players over towards A.
Just getting out of there.
And Ethan's already evacuated. Dash already used for Demon 1. A is looking very weak.
Certainly is. Nice tag as well to just push back Aspas from taking that space, but the rest of his team is now starting to collect it. Look at it, hunting for Jorgamo. Narrowly escaping with his life. Backed away though, it will be that full retake being played online here, unless this fight comes to fruition for them. The flash wasn't quite good enough. Boostio dodged it, but Falls anyway, didn't have the weapon on the way here. Here it is, Lockdown is putting the heat and pushing it all the way up here. It's up to EG. Emphasis being placed on them trying to make this happen, but
Ethan caught.
Yeah, Ethan, I mean, being caught, and time is really starting to tick. The reposition of Aspas, it's lovely. Don't really expect it, because look at that, Ethan just trying to make something work with the team feed deep. Gate crash, a reward in sight. So 6-0, Loud. It's more than dominance at this point.
Mimi was saying on the desk, wouldn't it be poetic if EG were able to close this out and head to back-to-back grand finals by beating Loud on the map where they got 13-0'd earlier on this year? Instead, it looks like it could be poetic for exactly the opposite reasons. Loud are barreling towards another 13-0.
Yeah.
The form that they're currently playing. I mean, there's 3 players on EG with 2 kills between them.
And is this the adjustment that EG have made? Is this what they call the timeout for? They've got so much of their players grouped up over towards A here, leaving nothing over towards B. Boostio.
It's the same thing again. They go for a flash recon reclear of A, post somebody up, and their idea is for Ethan to gate crash over here to reinforce the B site. But they're going to be forced to play a retake anyway.
Yeah, and they've given up link control. You can already see it's Aspas and Les playing together side by side in tandem, taking that space up. A bit of a tap this time. There
Good
is
spam.
Good spam, yeah. Breaks down the cove, makes it way more dangerous for them. But while everybody's reloading, they're just able to get the spike down anyway. Happy to take the fights.
Ethan could ping here with his ultimate for Comms Hunter's Fury to get incredible value.
Got to think about saving this though. You're a player down. You're trying to
going
make this
for it.
one. Look at the pit, yeah. Still going to be working their way in. Ethan. Now, time to ping out these players, collecting it together. Flash, Hunter's Fury, all collected, and the fight gets taken into the back of the site, clearing them all the way out. It is carnage and chaos, but nobody's taking it. It goes down, but a cosmic divide in their face, up top to the box, Team of 1. That is unbelievable.
That is a retake of epic proportions. Such phenomenal value found between Ethan and Com's ultimates. Ethan's in there like a human drone.
Oh yeah.
Just running around, spamming the pings. And then throwing out flashes, fake, clones, all sorts of stuff. Just to tangle Loud up, tie their brain in knots, and make sure that Com gets good value out of his ult. That's so decisive from EG to get themselves back on the board, but it's still an uphill battle. They're still only at 1 and 6.
Good one to find though, with all the right answers. Interesting wall. And to isolate, I believe with a flash, just in case Ethan is tucked into that corner. If the flash pings, then you know he's sitting there. It doesn't, so they know that space is clear, but now making a move. It's a flash reclearance. No good connection. Still 1 for 1, maybe a bit more good from Boostio. Star Wars defender.
He wants more.
And then Sadak, yeah, he's looking in the wrong direction.
Seems a little greedy from Boostio there, but he's feeling it. He had the read, and he got the 3K. In the meantime, Demon One has taken the operator for a walk deep, deep through. With Sadak falling, he knows there's no alarm bot, no turret.
He's just missed them.
He has. He's missed the timing.
Flash. The doors, their backs towards it.
He's missed it again.
He's missed it entirely, but Boostio still locking it down. That is definitely one way to get an ace.
What a round from Boostio. He posted a tweet after their game against PaperX calling himself a disappointment and a fraud. He had under 160 ACS, -24, and he said, I will not do that again. You're not catching me bottom fragging another series for my team as we head deep into champs. And Boostio's come out here, I mean, with so much confidence. The way that he's taking those fights, especially the one into Sadak.
Oh. So precise. He's feeling it.
It's not necessary, but it is a fantastic way for EG to start getting themselves back into this map.
Get the confidence up. Like you said earlier, you know, Boostio said that when he's playing well, his calling gets a little bit better. So good reads on a very confidence-based, this team, when it comes to the vibes as well. Mentality coming into this. Obviously still in the lead when it comes to the overall maps. You know, they're leading by 2 in this best of 5. This is the only one that they're being a bit hung up on. Louder just trying to stay alive.
Tactical timeout.
Loud discussing what have the issues been here. And that's about the first time that EG have really fought heavily over B-Link. The rest of the time, Loud have been able to take that fairly easily. But it doesn't seem to be a major strategic adjustment. Just big moments. The retake into Boostio's ace.
Hello, this could be problematic for Loud. Heavy group up. 3 players now, making their moves and their marks over towards it. Ethan tucked to the corner, the flash. Was a connection, they want nothing to do with it. Just backing away. I thought there was danger in it because of Demon 1 with the operator, but
now they read it so well.
Yeah.
And they also use a lot of good utility there too. The cascade, the flash specifically catches onto Ethan's positioning. And his gate crash was not to rotate to A. So Ethan is not ready yet to try and help Boostio.
Enough time might be purchased though anyway with the amount of time that has been shaved off the clock.
EG are already...
Yeah, EG are here. The hit's already coming through. There's a lockdown ready for them. This is a response that is necessary now. Reckoning, clearing through. That is mental stuff. Tagging up onto the players here, but still, you got to respect this lockdown. Sadak, got to get a move on, son. Just avoiding it. No detainment inside here, but you cannot end up hitting that side from EG.
There's a re-exploration in mid. Jorgamo and Les barely passing each other.
No way. But it's watchful
too.
Oh, no, it's not.
The timings are just ridiculous over here in mid. Jorgamo could have potentially had 2.
There's 30 seconds left. If you're going to be going over towards B, you have to get a move on. You've got to start running.
They don't know that Jorgamo's here. But Sadak not venturing in this direction.
Jorgamo could just win this entire round for his team here. He's alone.
He'd have to slip past Les.
Yeah, but I mean, Les isn't really watching for this either. He should be now, though. High Tide is already past it now.
Jorgamo.
Eyes on Jorgamo, revealed. No way, not a chance. It's dropped, but no. He gets off the plant.
He's got enough time.
He does, just about. Okay, extension for it. Missing it by milliseconds potentially there, but here it is now, a lockdown in play on the other side of things. That's well earned. Les out in the open, over the top of his wall, can just see Demon 1's head taken out, a gap into the back of the side. Les, good presence of mind, knowing to jump spot that, knowing it could have been an option that was wide open, and it's just a possibility. 7-2.
What a pivot, what a call. Jorgamo could have made the play there. Recon dart thrown out by Com, lighting up 2Es. And there's 7 seconds left. It was disaster written all across that round, and yet Loud still finding their way through all of the difficulties. Baiting out the lockdown super early, and then pivoting over to B. Loud still in the driving seat here.
Money to buy for EG though. Critical round for them to try and win. Dart, it's not taken care of. It's one of the first times they've ended up really pulling that one out. Look at the spam damage that was done a bit earlier. That was just presumably Boostio with the rifle. Firing into the orb. Now a clearance into mid. Demon 1 loves his off angles. Sees the util. Dash now active for him. Ethan also falling quite low. Flash repeat together. They're kind of body blocking each other. It's a bit awkward. And now starting to make the moves here. It's a great rumble and move all the way through into this connector. But they can try and get past the smokes and the util. Everybody collected into the back of Horse. How did Loud get through this one? With great difficulty. Cove though, drop down at their feet. Still need to deal with Boostio. He's tucked to the side. Nice flash eventually there. But still, there's so many pieces that they haven't recognized. And this Jorgamo weaving in and out. Les returning the fire. 50 seconds. A chance to really put a break and pause into the play. But the spike is really in the middle of nowhere for Loud.
Sadak should be able to recover this one. You can see Ethan poking around, getting information. There's only 35 seconds. The wall is going to be helpful. Sadak could pick this up and try and pivot elsewhere. The spam, he must avoid it.
And a fight one. Yeah, with Les falling there. Aspas close to the corner. So many targets to deal with. Running all around here. Noise faking with the Qs. There's only 20 seconds left. They still haven't dealt. But dealt with Ethan finally. He's removed towards the back of Horse. Demon 1 down. And it's crumbling here. Com, it's been so good in the clutch, but can he really do it? Again, shock darts are here to damage. Potentially done. There's one removed, and enough for Sadak. Low enough. Com. Oh my, this guy is just unreal.
Not the first time that the forum's been screaming out for Com. He's looked magnificent in these last few matches. What? The presence of mind to know that Aspas has been chunked down, finish him off with a shock dart, and flick over to Sarak. Com has been magnificent in the clutch, and still only 3 rounds for EG. Loud are constantly putting the pressure on, finding these ways of being able to stabilize and punish EG. More A-main pressure.
Yeah. Watching Fraudy positions just in case there was the updraft following up through, but it's up to Bustio again, anchoring. All of his util just collected at his feet, so if we can really push him here at halls. If the aim for Loud now is to reclear into A main, they might be sorely mistaken. Ethan has got the flash. Steamer 1's contact, that's what's going to be causing it to rebound and a re-swing. Demon 1 spots it, here's the flash. Re-peek attempt with the updraft play! Plucked out of the sky. Jet player won't be getting away with anything. Aspas though, on the other hand, really just handing it to them. Quick decision making.
Les also got a lurk down through Art, picked off Jorgamo. There's no defense here. Bustio and Com are going to desperately try and get into position. Les already going for another lurk in a different avenue. He's found the timing, slipped through, Com retreats, and it's too easy.
Far too easy. The rounds that EG are winning, they're on a nice edge. They require almost everything. Every ult in the book or a clutch play, a performance from a big player, but it's all Loud in control this half. When it really mattered for them, it's a map that they had to win. Set themselves up to do so now.
And outside of this match, Ethan's Yoru has looked amazing here. They've had so many cool ideas. They've caught teams off guard. Loud instead come in prepped, bring back the Harbor Viper. Ethan bottom of the scoreboard, 3-11. Even the supportive stuff isn't working. Loud have found an answer here. No one else has really been able to acquire.
Flash re-clear potential. Ethan, he's holding the flash, you can see it. Out of the smoke, they want to go for it. Right onto the side, there was a recall start of their own actually, just try and block them off. Again, smoke's in their face, just trying to play anti-flash close to the corner. It's desperation.
It's so good from Loud. The same kind of ideas, always ready to catch the aggression. They put a little bit of pressure in an area and wait for the response.
Just aware of it.
One enemy remaining.
Jorgamo and Com tried to make something happen, but this is a 9-3 half in favor of Loud. Bringing back the Harbor Viper and looking immaculate on it, as per usual.
Still showing that it's got legs here. All the bit, I mean, off the back of massive performances across the board, really, from Loud. That's what the dominance has been. It's electric. One-sided maps on either side, but Aspas a player to look at as well for our aim lab shoot around. A little bit earlier he was warming up. Of course not doing it in the middle of the map.
Aspas has not even, in my opinion, been the player that has popped off in this head-to-head. Yeah. It's been more to do with how the entire team has played around the tempo of EG. And that was one of the things that really caught them on maps 1 and maps 2. Frod was talking about the first map, they were playing a bit too quick. They weren't ready for how slow EG were going to be. Then map 2, EG increased the pace, increased the tempo, and suddenly Loud are completely caught off guard. EG go up 2-0 in the series. And now what we're seeing is Loud poking and prodding in areas around the map. EG respond decisively, trying to re-clear, making plays, and Loud just holding, ready for it. Many people playing anti-flash, all ready to catch the aggression, never caught in transition. Been immaculate.
Yeah, they are super aware. This map, they know, lurking around every single corner, there's always the potential for the re-clearance. And they have contingencies at the back of their mind when they're playing like that. It's set them up now 9-3 in this map. A must-win for Loud. I've been saying this. Needs to be the case.
With all of the conversation as well recently about Fnatic starting a legacy, a dynasty, an era, whatever you want to call it, I think people have forgotten that Loud are also fighting for their own. These are the defending champions coming back to try and win another trophy. Loud as a team have been in 8 tournaments. This the 9th. They've made it to 6 out of 8 of the grand finals. For Loud, if they survive the group stage, they always make the grand finals. Here, they're 1 map away from being eliminated right before that goal. The winners of Americas showing that they have more to give.
Stepping up entirely. Unsettling.
Very unsettling.
Got to show more emotion than that. Come on, this game is only just getting started, it seems like. All eyes on the pistol round. EG. Still a sliver of hope at the back of their minds to maybe close this one out in a 3-0 fashion, but it begins here with this round.
And if they don't close things out 3-0, we go to split, we go to bind, areas where Loud have recently looked phenomenal. And then it'll end up getting scrappy, chaotic, and those advantages bought on Ascent and Lotus won't mean much then. It's a quiet beginning for EG as they scope things out towards the B side of the map.
I think Ethan was putting a bit of presence in with the util. He's TP'd now to rejoin the rest of his team, and they are just contacting up behind this. No noise made other than a star propped up, smoke, so they can get into position. I'm being forced to use this util to clear out any parts of this. Now you see it. Dart rebounding. Waiting for the gate crash into the back of it alongside the flashes, all combined to clear out Hordes, but it's given up the space. Util out. No kill collected. Boostio. Fortunate time with that one, not quite able to get it, and got a util now being pushed into his face. Comes down to these fights are about to be taken. The util being expended, lighting up these players. Flanks on flanks occurring. Jorgamo from behind. Damage certainly done. Demon 1, snappy, precision, and EG find themselves a massive advantage. A pistol round win.
Exactly what EG need, but they need so much more as well. Beautiful idea on the pistol, though. Clearly got some concept of Loud wanting to play without too much info from their Killjoy. Over on B, they just walk that up super deep. And specifically, Ethan's gate crashing towards the right side of halls. Usually, Ethan's going to be gate crashing left side of halls constantly. Seems like a small difference, but...
Slight adjustment, but necessary if, you know, like Loud have been playing. They're definitely aware, they've seen the tapes.
Yeah. You want to be mixing things up like that, just so that Loud are not able to anti-strat you in a game of this magnitude. Frod's talked a lot about the level of prep work that he does heading into events like this, and the whole team does. Watching the tape, not just their opponents, but their own, trying to improve.
Oh, wait a second. Loud, no noise made, no util thrown out. EG trying to fake like they were taking that B control. They smoked it themselves. They droned as well, not seeing anything. They are scared of the stack, yet they are walking into it. Tucked to the corner now. It all stands on this one. At a moment's notice, it could fall to pieces. Shock dart lay it down just in case it's Nana swarms close to the corner. Sadak, he was trying to get cheeky with it. Dashing forwards, TP's gate crash all abound and used towards the back of the site. They need something to clear this. Okay, that will do it. Through the window. The aim is sharp indeed. No real danger. Less. This little aim warm up in the moment in the round here, but it's all EG.
It definitely looked like there was some potential for that to go wrong. You see that one with the X-ray, and Kawanzin just got destroyed. Demon 1 hitting some nasty shots. A reminder that Demon 1 had his worst map since joining Evil Geniuses, playing against Paper Rex, and has just come straight back out and top frag in almost all of these maps.
It's going to be a fight. Too much house behind this one with Ethan. Is he trying to take this one solo? Fakes it. Maybe just didn't like what he saw in terms of util. Didn't want to commit to it.
It's a heavy investment with the high tide over here. You've got a decent idea that they're fighting over A main. Boostio's going to try and catch a timing, tuck himself in at this box as Loud go and re-clear.
I really like this idea. I don't think it gets cleared, especially with Demon 1 getting that one. 2 years. Real chance for a punish, but okay. The rifles, bangable into the box.
Boostio knew that it wasn't going to be anticipated and decided to try and make something happen there. Ethan's only got a ghost, so he can't really challenge towards less. But they can recognize now, they've seen enough of the Loud players over towards Art and A, that they know B's got to be a little weak.
It's going to be heard. Sadak has his util laid down. Start. And to try and clear out the top section of B, but it's just delaying them now with the Nana Swarm at their feet. They're worried. But the flanks are just buying time for Loud now to start to regroup. Together here, Ethan. Ult online.
Who's next?
That might make the difference here, but with 30 seconds remaining, he's just trying to ping out these players. Everyone's off site. Be catching any targets. Sees Aspas. Flash and backs away.
Spike planted.
What's the answer now from Loud? High Tide back online. 2 years wraps this one all the way across now. Won't have to expend one of his smokes here. This is just with the Guardian still. It's Rifles running it through here. The crossfire setup's got to be playing off of each other. Ethan almost doing enough damage. 20 health to Aspas.
On the flank.
Right from behind. They do not anticipate it. They do not expect it. It is played once more all the way to perfection. Com just does not lose clutches.
Another Red Bull clutch from Com. He made the massive wraparound play. He was over in B-Link setting up that recon dart lineup, never ended up using a recon. Wasn't there to try and help his team at all on their entry into B. Had full faith that they were going to get in, get the spike plant, and he can be that final line of defense to win the round. He went all the way back through B-Link, through water, into spawn. The big wraparound play. And the rest of his team bought enough time. Another ridiculous clutch from Com. Got to be the best clutcher of the playoffs, certainly at this point.
Those numbers have got to be insane. Just feels like every time he's placed in 1v1, 1v2, doesn't matter. Always there. And now, you know, for what was such a safe beginning to the second half of Pearl for Loud, it's hot water almost. 6 rounds. Game for EG, many in a row. Set themselves up. They crash into the back. Ethan does commit to it. There's a dog in his face, though. Definitely going to be a bit dicey. Kawazine, he's cleaned up, just playing close to the pillar, but they have not dealt with Sadak. Nana Swarm. Gotta respect that one. Demon 1. Instantly out of there. I'm drafting the dash. There's enough noise has been made, really. There's no hiding this intent at this point. EG, you know they're trying to take this one. Rattling off shots, picking them apart, picking the timings. 2 years, and Aspas all together. Enough of a reset, but damage surely done here. Demon 1, he's left to it. It's a 1v1. Aspas!
Pulls out the Blade Storm for the MasterCard Thrifty. What a response from Loud. You were saying it was getting dangerous. It looked like they'd found themselves in hot water. And they get out. A series of shots here by Tui's here. A lot of damage inflicted. And just so many players stacked around on the site. Almost too many small percentage plays, but by everyone from Loud. To be able to combine together and get that one down. That's giving Loud a little buffer.
Yeah, bit of a buffer. That's what gets them the first defensive round win. This map so far for them. Premium being put now. Take control. Towards Art for EG, updraft, almost there, less. Luckily not spammable, not with the Blade Storms here. There's util, yeah, I mean vulnerable there. Pointing him exactly, directly, less. Still revealed here, this is ridiculous. Tucked to the corner, right behind it. Doesn't know if they're pushing up onto the angle though. It's a little bit awkward when this fades. Might be in a significant amount of danger, but maybe with the wall up in his face, he might be able to isolate one of the fights. No, he's got 2 players waiting for him, still gets 1.
Nice flick to make the non and done into a 1 and done. Kawazine and Tui's are still here to try and hold the back line.
With that kill, it does give up our control. Jorgamo walking it through.
He's so happy to try and make the play.
Yeah, it's an interesting smoke, isn't it? Brought down in the end, though. Kawazine reposition a tap. That's counter spam. They were waiting for that one.
Still a 2v3. Still chances here. Com's got his Hunter's Fury. Is he going to be able to escape?
He's
Yeah, just takes a small amount of chip damage. Com is never not flanking.
Wait a second, yeah.
Com is always flanking.
The danger here, I believe, is Jorgamo doesn't have util to delay, doesn't have a pull on line. Com from behind. It all relies on him. If Jorgamo can get a pick, it makes it a little bit easier for them. Still a 2 versus 3. Turrets there, blocking off the angle. They don't expect it. They don't expect it. Finally, he strikes.
He has ult.
From behind, does have the ult backing away, now playing his life. And Aspas, it's an impossibility. Forcing out the ult. Jorgamo is set up to win that fight. How did EG just pull that one back from the brink?
They're so quick at coming up with post-plant ideas. Other teams would wonder for a while, should I commit to the flank? Should I try and make the play? Com's instant, decisive,
30 seconds.
and confident in it because he's done it so many times before.
One enemy.
He can visualize the entire process because it's just so familiar to him. He's been doing it over and over in the playoffs of champions. And yeah, it's Jorgamo that cleans it up, but Com makes the play that makes that a reality again. Loud won the Thrifty to be able to get themselves up to 10. They might need something similar. Talk about a 9-3 curse.
Yeah, tested. At this point, Loud probably tired of comebacks against them. EG not pushed away. A-main's theirs. Drone, not really being broken. 2 years. Does it tag him? Yes, it does. Spammable into the corner. He's just going to try and evade all of it, but no, it's too much. 3 rifles. Weighing down on him. And the signs of that, EG content to slow this one down.
This slower pace is what brought them so much success over on the first map. Getting a feel for where Loud would be set up. Les looks like the only danger, really, in how the defense is currently positioned. If he could catch Jorgamo on some kind of aggressive lurk play. Otherwise, it's just going to be another slow siege from EG.
Ozine in the position where he can spam that angle. Sadak dealing with Ethan with the plan, pushed away for now with the snake bite. Vulnerable up.
Jorgamo coming around the back of Les.
Yeah, this timing has been missed. Oh, has it? Les. Hold up, wait a second, he can hear the footsteps. He's repositioned all the way back, but still EG.
And now Aspas.
Yeah, they have control of this. Surely they do. Aspas, upgrade gained. It's never over. And when he's got the rifle in his hands. Turret's there though, flipping the map. Planning for default, EG with backside control here.
Just great setups.
Yeah.
Fantastic crossfire.
And it's off comms contact, I think. Either that or Demon 1. Demon 1 off angle. Dealt with, destroyed. Ethan. Okay. There was a chance there for Les.
Yeah, almost a moment.
Almost a miracle.
Almost a moment. But EG survive. They've won 5 out of 6 rounds in this half so far. Both of these teams have been excellent at their attack sides. It's just been a running theme throughout this match. Loud have got to stop this momentum that EG now have. Rifles, operator, back in hand for Loud. They were up 9-3 at the half. And they need this win to avoid elimination, to avoid going home and missing out on their chance to be back-to-back champions winners.
Yeah, that dream will be dead. This map is the turning point. They've got to seal it out. They have the advantage already. Ethan, not being used, worked his way into the forward position, close. Sadak wants to meet him. This is a risky peek. Does Sadak really overstay it? Does he overplay it? Wants to clear it onto the corner. Yep, just spots it. Immediately out of there, though. There is that uncertainty. You just don't really know where Ethan is, but now, of course, revealed.
EG have such deep control over mid right now. They've put a turret down to watch water.
Yeah, it's, I mean, middle is theirs. Not getting any through this. I mean, Loud aware of it, watching it through spawn, but what it does do is make it really uncomfortable for Aspas. Playing together him and Sadak. Here's the hit about to come through. The gate crash at his feet. Dart reveals it. What is that? Adjustment and flick was necessary with even being brought down, but again, putting the squeeze onto Sadak. Sadak repositions into the orb. It's a weave in and out play. Demon 1 has to respond, and he does. 2 kills there, spots the player up the top, but now walking, cutting the noise, flash in his face though, still got the dash, here's the reckoning. Lay it down, stuns, abound, got to win these fights out for it, but it's all down to Demon One. There's too much to overcome, surely. Snakebite at the feet, the stuns are avoided, and dodge, yes, the plant is down, but every avenue watched, every angle, every chance is going to be shut down, all the way sticking through, and yet nothing to break the cove. A wonderful effort, but it's Loud who find himself up to 11.
What an incredible performance coming out from Aspas and Sadak there, anchoring towards B. The flick from Aspas might define whether or not they win the round. You know, if Aspas doesn't hit this,
there's just no shot.
Surely Ethan is going to be able to clean up Sadak.
Oh yeah.
Right? And so this is how moments cascade into each other. If Aspas doesn't hit the ridiculous flick, maybe Sadak isn't also able to get 2 kills on sight. Suddenly EG are right back into things. But a big moment from their jet start, and Loud get their way up to 11. This map looked like it was going to just be easy, plain sailing after the first half.
Yeah.
And instead, it's been a grueling slog.
Sort of a blowout. Similar to what we saw with EG winning out on Lotus, and it has just got, yeah, just chewed up, slowed down to a crawl. Obviously still chances for EG here. I mean, they're taking time out now to discuss this one. They've still been in control when it comes to these attack sides.
Massively important round in front of us. Guardian for Kawanzin. Bulldog, light armor for Sadak. But they have large ultimates with which to play. And Aspas is setting up with Kawanzin to try and take early contact up towards B. We could see a clash here of Demon One and Aspas.
It's looking likely. Fast play. This is Aspas. He's going to be using the Trailblazer now to make sure it clears it. 2 shots fired to break it, so gives the confirmation to Aspas that there's more than just one player waiting. That does temper him, his excitement to try and take the fight. He's going to be backing away now to Pillar. Ethan, same diligence. He was just taking A main control, seeking to fake it, but Loud seem to be aware of this. Aspas. Oh, this is such an awkward position. Is this because they've been contacting? Potentially, but noise is being made now all the way up through into the smoke. There's about to be a timing to be taken, and he flashes the peek through this one. Over the top! That is disgusting! But he meets his match. In the end, Ethan's there with a consistency to trade. Here's the lockdown now being placed with that space earned. Got to respect this.
There's going to be a lockdown in return. Sadak with one of his own. The question is how EG are going to be able to get the plant off and stop the retake from happening. I thought for a moment there, Sadak was going to get himself in pain.
He was close to the box there. It was a spammable angle. He's brought down. There is no spike.
No plant.
Planted. It's throwing everyone for a bit of a loop here. There are plays to be made. Bustio is going to be caught on the open.
Jorgamo's going to get caught by the alarm bot here. So he can't go for a flank either.
It's absolute chaos.
I mean, look at Bustio's
into the corner. There's no way he survives here, but he's looked into his position and nobody's going to clear him. Goes here. What is going on? He's in the spawn, man. He's in the spawn. There's no time left. The 12 seconds is cleared out with a flash play. Loud in control of this one. The spike's still in their hands. 2 years. Adjustment with the aim. Snaps to the side. Loud on the precipice.
Grinding these rounds out one by one.
Yeah, no amount of scrims are going to help you deal with that situation.
No, I mean, look at the situation there that happens, though. The denial onto the plant. They get into that spot, and ideally, Jorgamo's pull is supposed to be a little earlier, so that they're not able to get that spam angle. So just a small misstep in EG's timing on when they execute these things. And Lauda offered an opening there. Now EG have to make it work with horrible weaponry.
Get out of my way.
Everything invested into it. Viper's Pit down. Hunter's Fury over the top here. Tries to set it up with Demon One with the knives, but no connection, no kill, no refresher with the blades.
There's so much damage onto Sadak. He's going to get the heal, though, meeting up with Kawanzin. Unless has not been pressured inside here.
The fact that they didn't posture less out of that spot. Viper's Pit. It's critical. Just removes A entirely. Now there's still a chance of lurk plays from See Boostio's position tucked into Art. To the side now, Flash as well. Everybody grouping up onto the corner. Aspas is here, revealed. Does he get out of danger though? Interesting scenario. Smokes to try and help him out. Is everything being cleaned up? Loud. This could be it. The final blow to seal the map. Aspas will not be budged, will not be removed. Still holds his ground. Here's a TP, and here to contain Aspas. On the move, making the moves. Desperation all the way. Loud are not done yet.
What a response from this super team from Brazil. Looking fantastic out here on Pearl. There were some moments where EG looked like they were going to be able to get back into this, but in the end, it's a 13-8. It's clean, and it's Loud.
Definitely got a series on our hands here, man. A clean overall map leading deeper and deeper into this best of 5. You don't want to miss it. See you just after this.
Bringing in a new roommate to save money, is that the plan?
But we gotta find some way to save, so say hi to Glenn from work. Hey, that's my mom.
Yeah, I think I have a much better plan. We switched to my plan from Verizon for just $25 per line.
And that price is guaranteed for 3 years.
All on the network we can count on.
It's a good plan.
It is a good plan. Glenn, looks like we're not gonna be needing you, so I'll see you at work.
Later, Glenn.
Save big with my plan, starting at just $25 when you bring your own phones. Guaranteed for 3 years. It's your Verizon.
Red Bull gives you wings.